Bruce Buchanan.
Thanks very much, Tim. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the fourth meeting of the season between the Winnipeg Jets and the Edmonton Oilers. There's the referee for tonight's hockey game, 33-year-old Kerry Fraser from Sarnia, Ontario, and he was the ref in that wild one in Chicago the other night. In goal for the Oilers, 23-year-old Grant Fuhr from Spruce Grove, an NHL second-team All-Star in 1982. And for the Jets, it's Mark Barron, the former U.S. Olympian in 1984. He's 24 years old from Madison, Wisconsin. And the first period is underway. Lee Fogelman across to Kevin Lowe. Return pass to Fogelman. Turnbull, Boschman, and Arneal are starting for the Jets. Napier, Semenko, and Gretzky started for the Oilers. McTavish is now on the ice. Big Jim Kite, 6'5". Miss Boschman with the pass at center. Kevin Lowe on the right side, and Boschman picks it up. The former Oiler who came to the Jets in that Willie Lindstrom deal. Scott Arneal. Pass through center to Boschman. Turnbull's on the left side. Napier to Semenko off his skate. Napier will try and clear it again. Kite pinching in for the Jets, and it goes to Fogelman. He missed Semenko with the pass. Tim Waters back to get it in his own zone to Scott Arneal. Now to Boschman. Has Turnbull on the left side. Boschman still has it. The slap shot and a low drive. Just missed the far corner.
Well, the Jets have come out skating, something we haven't been accustomed to watching here in this building in the last while.
Glenn Anderson winding up. His shot went wide of Barron. Mario Miroir, the former Quebec Nordique for Jim Nill. Miroir digs it free, and the puck rolls outside Jets territory. Glenn Anderson, who had 6 points against the Blackhawks the other night, and he is flying. He's taken over the lead as far as left wingers go in the All-Star voting. Charlie Huddy back in his own zone. One of two Oilers not to get a point against the Hawks the other night. The other one was Dave Hunter. Glenn Anderson trying to move down the boards. And it's picked up for the Jets by Thomas Steen. He's been struggling, hasn't scored since November 8th. His shot went wide of the Oiler net. Jim Nill in the corner digging for it against Yari Curry. Coffey up the boards for Anderson. Miroir was pitching for the Jets. Now it's Miroir at center. Of course, he came to the Jets. Robert Picard went to the Quebec Nordiques. Curry centers it for Anderson. Coffey keeps it in at the point. Back in the corner for Anderson. Gretzky behind the net. Coffey had moved in deep, but the Oilers couldn't get possession. Just underway in the first period, just past the 2-minute mark, and there's no score. Coffey looking for Gretzky. That play broken up by Waters. Anderson following up, and Yari Curry was offside.
For a while there, it didn't look like we were going to get any whistles. Last year's runner-up to Coach of the Year, Barry Long, and he's had his work cut out for him this year. On Sunday night against Los Angeles, in the first two periods, he had 11 different line combinations. Wednesday night against Vancouver, he had 9, but he played the entire third period with the combinations that you see out here tonight, except for maybe Paul McLean, who is not playing because of an injury.
The Jets' record is exactly reversed to what it was last year. They're 10-17-3 this year. Last year at this point, they were 17-10-3. Jim Kite on the left side for Wilson. Now to Murray Eves, who was called up from Sherbrooke. He was tied up by Marty McSorley, who's been hot. He'd love to play the Blackhawks more often. 4 goals in the 2 games against the Hawks. Kevin McClellan.
Local newspaper here call him the Big M.
Randy Gregg carrying on. His shot gloved by Barron, and he'll hang on as Kevin McClellan was looking for the rebound. Live from the Winnipeg Arena, this is your Molson Hockey Telecast.
Oh man, rhythm is in my shoes. No use sitting there and singing the blues. So be my guest, you got nothing to lose. Won't you let me take you on a sea cruise? Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, baby, ooh-wee, ooh-wee, baby, ooh-wee, ooh-wee, baby. Won't you let me take you on a sea cruise?
Molson Canadian. Taste that'll stop you cold.
2 minutes, 42 seconds have been played in the first period. No score.
That's an interesting line out here. McTavish, McSorley, and Hunter. Sather had everybody kind of guessing that Brubaker, McClellan, and McSorley would play together. That would have been a headbanger.
Brubaker was picked up on waivers by the Oilers yesterday from the Toronto Maple Leafs and was practicing on this line. And like Dave says, everyone was chuckling at practice this morning. What a crash-bang line that would be. And we may see it before too much longer. Jim Kite at center for the Jets. Suominen ran into him. Mullen trying to play it out. Kite will off the skate of Randy Gray. Neufeld playing the right side tonight for the Jets, along with Hawerchuk and Mullen. Paul McLean is out of the lineup with a stomach pull. The Jets also missing veteran defenseman Randy Carlisle and Andrew McBain. Here's McSorley moving in, and he was checked at the last moment by Mario Mirwa. Here's Mullen, 2-on-1 with Neufeld. Low is back, Mullen fakes, shoots, and a good save by Grant Fuhr, who came way out the challenge on the play.
What a wasted opportunity by the Jets. They had a perfect 2-on-1. Mullen fakes the shots, and he really didn't do anything to Grant Fuhr at all. He just shot it right into his pads. And that's the type of season the Winnipeg Jets have been having. They can't take the most of their opportunities. They just don't score goals. The puck is given away right here into the zone for the Jets, and they come busting out 2-on-1. Mullen last year, 32 goals, and really, if he's not going to shoot the puck right there, was the greatest opportunity for him. The defenseman moved over, took the outside winger. Grant Fuhr come out and make the challenge, but he should have shot from that face-off circle.
Grant Fuhr kind of snickering before the game. He said, I'd like to keep it under 5 tonight. I said, try and keep it under 9, will you, Grant? But loose, as always, having a little trouble coming back from that shoulder injury that he suffered, and of course was dinged in the mask by Willie Flood of Minnesota. But Grant Fuhr can be brilliant, and the Jets hope it's not tonight. Here's Kevin Lowe in front of his own net. Boschman forechecking for the Jets. Scott Arniel keeps it in. Turnbull in front of the net. Boschman played it back for Dulles, and it was intercepted by Gretzky. He has Lumley with him. Hanging on to it. Gets away from 2 Jets. Into Billy Carroll. Lumley waiting off the side of the net. Takes it behind the net. Trying to jam it in. Barron hung the post well and made the save. Here's Fogelin winding up the shot. Barron out the challenge. Carroll couldn't get the shot away. And Ellett sends Arniel on his way. Terry Turnbull also with Scott Arniel. In front for Turnbull. Couldn't get the shot away. Loose puck. And Dave Hunter is there for the Oilers. And he flipped it out of play.
Oh, a good scoring opportunity that time by the Edmonton Oilers. Mark Barron, who has been guilty of giving up rebounds in the past when he's played up here for the Jets. He is handling the puck somewhat better. Watch the shot from the blue line here by Fogelin, and watch the rebound, how far it bounces out into the play. Now, it's very, very important that the Jets cover up and don't give that second shot away. The puck actually is mishandled by Billy Carroll there. If he stops and shoots it, he's got a pretty good scoring opportunity. Right there, he goes down, and maybe he should catch the puck, Bruce, and smother it right there to stop an extra scoring opportunity.
Barron had a .500 record in Sherbrooke this season, 7-7-1, and a 4.47 goals against average. He was in net when the Jets beat the Vancouver Canucks 6-3 on Wednesday to move into 3rd place in the Smythe division.
Well, his recall was not so much of how well he was playing in Sherbrooke, but how well bad Hayward was playing here in Winnipeg.
And that's where Hayward is now. Coffey, a lead pass for Gretzky. Ellett to Dulles. He shot it to the Oiler line. Arniel had lost his stick. Here's Turnbull with Boschman. The slap shot off Charlie Huddy's stick and out of play. 15:21 left in the first period. There's no score.
If you own your own business and want to reduce your heating and cooling costs up to 50%, listen up. Lennox new twin compressor unit delivers comfort at the lowest operating cost in North America today. Call your nearby independent Lennox dealer for your next commercial air conditioning and heating project.
For quality service in heating, cooling, and ventilation,
call us at Keeler Sheet Metal.
They have more than 100 years experience.
For the best in year-round comfort, call Allied Refrigeration.
Thanks, Dave. We service and install both residential and commercial equipment.
4 minutes, 39 seconds have been played in the first period. No score between the Jets and the Oilers. Oilers have outshot the Jets so far 3-1.
And it's a big crowd here tonight, so that's an indication of the drawing power of the Edmonton Oilers. They have not played well, and they have not drawn that well, but the Oilers pack them in.
Suominen down the left side. Curry steps on the ice as Suominen's slap shot was wide of the Jet net. There's a giveaway by Huddy to Hawerchuk with Neufeld. Hawerchuk shoots it and hits the goal post. Hawerchuk had Grant Fuhr beaten, but it's still scoreless. Anderson with Gretzky. That line combined for 16 points in Chicago. Hawerchuk just shoots it in for the Jets. It bounced into Grant Fuhr. Oilers fortunate, but the Jets aren't up 1-0.
Well, the Oiler defense have been guilty of giving up a couple of 2-on-1s. You see, last year's 130-point man, Dale Hawerchuk, got a great puck stolen right here off the defenseman, and he comes in, and unlike Mullen, he's going to do something with this puck. He puts it off the post. you notice Fuhr, Bruce, he didn't come out quite far enough, and he allowed Howardchuk that opportunity to come in and get the puck up in the air exactly where he wanted it. That post a little thinner. It's 1-0 Winnipeg. Good play by the center iceman, Dale Howardchuk.
Steen and Gretzky on the face-off to the right of Grant Fuhr. Gretzky a 20-game point-scoring streak. Yari Curry has an 8-game streak, including 12 goals. So Curry is catching fire. And speaking of fire, Anderson fired at Dellett at the Jet line. Jets nearly had trouble with it in their own zone. Puck sliding inside the Oilers' zone, and Charlie Huddy is back to get it. Nearly overskated the puck against Doug Smale. Anderson trying to get by Thomas Steen. They battle for it. Charlie Huddy gained possession to Yari Curry. Across to Paul Coffey. Gretzky waiting at the Jet line. Huddy in his own zone to Paul Coffey. Nill and Steen going in deep to forecheck for the Jets, and they're doing a pretty good job.
This is the line that Barry Long wanted to get on. Gretzky, Curry, and Anderson, particularly with Smale and Nill.
Gretzky a slap shot, and there's a post for the Oilers as he had Mark Barron beaten. Gretzky trying to center it for Curry, was all alone in front along with Anderson, but Ellett was there for the Jets. Nill out to Steen. Has Smale on the left side. He takes the pass, the slap shot off the stick of Randy Gregg, wide of the Oiler net. Went Anderson. Puck went by Kite, and Gretzky has it with Curry trailing. Coffey coming up on the play. There's the back pass to Curry, and Tim Waters made a good play. Gretzky has it again, back for Coffey, but he'd gone the wrong way, and the puck came out.
It appeared to me that Coffey was going off for a line change that time and just misplayed the puck.
Mark Napier with a 7-game point streak. For Gretzky, Waters clears it for the Jets. 13:09 left first period. There's no score. A post for each team so far. Howardchuk for the Jets and Gretzky for the Oilers, the team captains. Don Jackson. To Dave Semenko, who was born in Winnipeg, and he shoots it in. Barron stopping it behind the net for Tim Waters. To Ron Wilson. On the right side for Dave Silk. Signed by the Jets as a free agent. Here's Wilson skating and hit the side of the net. Centered back, and he's at the score. On the rebound. That will be the first goal of the season for Murray Eaves, playing only his second game of the year after being recalled from Sherbrooke because of the injury to Paul McLean. The Oilers will be guilty of not taking the extra man. The puck will go off the post. It'll come out to the middle. He'll make the stop and watch the rebound. Then he'll pick up his own rebound right here. See the two sweaters, and you see two blue sweaters, and they're not taking any of the white sweaters out of the play. So Grant Fuhr has been left alone on 2 or 3 occasions tonight, and you can't do that, particularly with the skating of the Winnipeg Jets. And Winnipeg fans haven't seen that kind of hockey since the last time the Oilers were here. So it's 1-0 Jets early in the first period. Eaves from Wilson and Waters at 7:21. And it's 1-0 Jets. Brian Mullen. The slap shot off Vogelin's stick and into the crowd. Murray Eaves has scored. It's 1-0 Winnipeg.
Last year, Dodge made a very dramatic announcement. In a very dramatic way, we announced that every truck we build, every full-size pickup, van, wagon, and Ram Charger comes with our 5-year or 80,000-kilometer protection plan. And back then, we challenged Ford and Chevy to match that coverage. But you know what? Ford and Chevy still fall short. Dodge, still the best back trucks in Canada. And that's guaranteed.
I'm Bruce Buchanan with Dave Richardson and Tim Spellacy from the Winnipeg Arena. It's 1-0 Jets on a goal by Murray Eaves. Kite a slap shot off the blocker of Fuhr. Suominen trying to clear it. Tim Waters was pinching in. The Jet defense is pitching in this first period. Here's Kite. His shot went wide of the Oiler net. Suominen has it. 15 points on the season for the Finnish rookie. Waters shot deflected off Vogelin into the corner. Turnbull to Arneal looking for Boschman in front, and Grant Fuhr covers up.
Safeway features Kodak, Sony, or Polaroid VHS or Beta tapes, just $6.99 each.
Safeway's got
Good look at they coach, general manager, president Glenn Sather. You mentioned that he picked up Brubaker via the waiver draft. He also did that with Lumley, and he's always one step ahead of other general managers, just thinking about the future. And if you can see somebody on that waiver draft that's going to help your hockey club, by all means, make him a member of your cast. Something the Winnipeg Jets have not done in 6 years. They haven't used that waiver draft.
Elliott shot hit Lumley. Puck slides into the corner. Coffey is there to Wayne Gretzky. Across to Charlie Huddy. Huddy has it again. Looking for Gretzky. They're 2-on-1. Gretzky has Billy Carroll with him. Shoots! And he ripped it over top of the net. Going for the top corner all the way. Dave Ellett in his own zone. Gretzky is there. Ellett tried to move it down the boards, and Brian Mullen takes over. Has Neufeld on the right side. Just shoots it inside the Oilers' zone. Paul Coffey takes a whack at it. It goes to Billy Carroll. He had 25 points in 26 games with Nova Scotia before being called up. Here's Carroll looking for Lumley. Poked away by Barron. Lumley has it. To Charlie Huddy at the point. He plays it off the boards, and Ellett gets it out to Mullen. Huddy turning away from Ray Neufeld, who played junior hockey in Edmonton. Dave Hunter, his shot hit Waters. Smale clears it for Howardchuk. Huddy getting back. And he broke that play up as Howardchuk tried to make a move at the line. Across for Waters, and Dave Hunter is there for the Oilers. To Billy Carroll, off his stick to Jim Kite. He's tied up by Hunter. Howardchuk for the Jets. He just backhands it inside the Oilers' zone. 10:36 remaining first period. It's 1-0 Jets. Gretzky backhands it inside the Jet zone. Tim Waters back to get it. Hunter poked it behind the net for Gretzky, trying to jam at it. Came loose to Hunter, looking for Curry off the side of the net. Puck bounces in front, and Smale got it to Jim Nill. Back to Doug Smale. He's got good speed. Stops to speed. Shoots. Good save by Grant Fuhr.
You mentioned the speed of Dougie Smale. Certainly that's a big part of the Winnipeg Jets offense. They're skating, and they haven't skated that much this year. They're doing more and more. Now 17-0, who's known more as a mucker, does a pick play on the Oiler right there, and it allows him to free the puck to Smale, and had the deflection not come up and hit Grant Fuhr right on the left shoulder, Steen would have been looking for his first goal in 15 games after scoring over 30 last year. As a matter of fact, the Jets centerman's got 115 goals between them last year.
Got a penalty right off the face-off to Don Jackson of the Oilers, so the Jets will be going on the power play. You're watching the Oilers live on ITV.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just
Charles.
Catherine.
Do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
No. What is it?
In my heart I have but one.
Share the fantasy. Chanel number 5.
Jackson 950 for tripping. We are going to look at the Winnipeg Jets power play. It's rather anemic, 15.6%, 20th overall in the league. Last year they finished 5th overall at 23.8, so special teams have been somewhat of a downfall for Winnipeg.
And the Jets do not shine at home either. They're 18th at home on the power play, and tells you a big reason why they haven't played all that well.
That's where they missed Dave Babbage. He was a key member of that power play unit.
Ellett fires it in around the boards. Howardchuk kicked it in front, then intercepts off Randy Gregg, but was checked by Paul Coffey. Gregg has it again at the side of the net. Down the boards, Mirwa pitching in for the Jets. Gretzky played it to the side of the net. Howardchuk trying to center it for Neufeld. Gretzky has it to Yari Curry. The Oilers have 9 short-handed goals, and here they come. Coffey's pass went behind Curry. Mullen to Howardchuk with Neufeld at 2-on-1. Howardchuk to Neufeld, and he fanned on the shot. Good back-checking by Wayne Gretzky as he looked at Neufeld's stick. Lead pass for Gretzky would have had a breakaway, but Mirwa was there.
They say Ray Neufeld has stone hands. There was an indication of it right there on a great pass by Dale Howardchuk.
Howardchuk's had a good first period. Mirwa at the point. Across to Dave Ellett. Jets on the power play. His shot off Curry's stick. Howardchuk says he scored! Thomas Steve or make that shot on in.
Scott O'Neill had gone on for the change, and he was standing alone in front of the net. Newfield had caused a little bit of distraction, but you mentioned Howardchuk playing well. He'll get a hold of this puck in the corner, and the key to it is that Scott Arneal, who is standing just to the right of the screen, does not wait. He just one-times it right there, and he actually catches everybody flat-footed. But Howardchuk doesn't really look right there. He just directs it to the front of the net, and that's what really caused the play. A little bit of anticipation on the part of Dale Howardchuk.
So the Jets off to a good start tonight. They lead it 2-0 as Scott Arneal scores on the power play. Tim Waters back in his own zone. Plays it up the boards for Arneal. There's Lowe pitching for the Oilers. He kicks it into the corner for Marty McSorley. He and Turnbull battle for it along the boards. Suominen in the corner. McClellan goes for the front of the net. Here's McSorley stealing it. Takes the shot, went off Arneal's stick, and out of play. Murray Eaves and Scott Arneal have scored. It's 2-0 here in Winnipeg.
Expressway to your heart. This way to your heart. Expressway to your heart. Chrysler Daytona Turbo Z. It'll be an expressway to your heart.
Well, just prior going to commercial, McSorley and Big Jim Kite kind of looked at each other eye to eye. Other than just jostling back and forth, I think they'll get 2-minute penalties each. And we'll do nothing as far as altering the amount of players on the ice. It'll be 6-on-6.
Well, folks, you didn't miss too much. Bit of a jostle, and then they headed off to the penalty box. 8:30 to go.
Excuse me, Bruce. Glenn looks a little concerned because his team is coming off a road trip, and they're finishing off in their third game. They play Tuesday night, they give up 7 goals. They play Wednesday night, and they give up 9 goals. They catch a team that has not been playing well, and they're giving them life in the first period, something you can't do.
Kevin Lowe's shot from the point, deflected to Tim Waters, or Perry Turnbull, who was born in Bentley, Alberta. Came to the Jets for Lucien Deblois in a deal with Montreal. So John Ferguson's been busy on the trade market the last couple of seasons. Kevin McClellan to Glenn Anderson. Suominen's on the left side. He left it for him. The slap shot. Glove save by Mark Barron. But I think there's a penalty coming up to Boschman as he tackled McClellan. It's either Boschman or McClellan, but I think likely Boschman.
I think Boschman will go for taking a holding penalty. Good pursuit by the Oilers this time as they come flooding into the zone. Right there, you see the hook by Boschman right on Kevin right there. He's not letting up, not letting up. There's the crisscross play. But I like the way Mark Barron is out right there. He has been guilty in the past of sitting back in that net and letting them shoot at him. You've got to come out, make the challenge, take all of the net away from the shooter. That time it was easy pickings for him. And you're right, Bruce. Boschman will get the holding penalty because of the pursuit of Kevin McClellan. Had he stopped at the blue line, Boschman would have not had the penalty. He continued on, and then he got him hooking him just behind the net.
Not the most well-behaved player in the league as Laurie Boschman is. He, Dave, you were amazed by his penalty stats before the game. What is it, 122 minutes?
He's got over 1,200 minutes in 6 seasons.
Charlie Huddy at the line across the Koff. The Oilers on the power play. Anderson, Curry, and Gretzky up front. Here's Huddy winding up the shot. Right in front was Anderson, and he couldn't get the backhand towards the net. Wilson to Miroir. He plays it around the boards. Coffey waiting at the point. Back behind the net for Gretzky. Anderson is also there. Curry poised off the side of the net. Huddy and Coffey at the point. Gretzky waiting, takes the shot off Wilson's stick, and a souvenir for the fired-up crowd here in Winnipeg, who are not used to seeing their Jets in front.
No, they're playing very, very well. We talked briefly to Wayne before the hockey game. I said, listen, I can't remember. In that 13-0 game against Vancouver, did you score any goals? He says, you don't have to remind me. In our 2 big games, 25 goals are scored, and I did not get a goal. So he wants to make up for it tonight. He plays well in this building, Bruce.
Has 19 goals on the season. Said he might be the first player to score 200 points and not get 30 goals in a season. I think he's a little worried about his goal scoring, but it'll come with the chances he gets, that's for sure. Glenn Anderson. He was knocked off the puck by Ron Wilson, and the Jets clear it. 1:14 in the penalty to Laurie Boschman.
Well, the Oilers have a great power play, running at 28.2%, so they're familiar with scoring goals on that power play, and they could get right back into this hockey game doing something with it right now.
Anderson was poke-checked by Miroir. Charlie Huddy shoots it in for the Oilers. Been a good first period for the Jets. They lead it 2-0. Here's Anderson in the corner. To Curry, back to Paul Coffey. Huddy goes for the front of the net. Pass comes to Gretzky. To Curry, shoots, and he missed the corner as Barron was coming across. Gretzky in the corner, watched by Dave Ellett. Now to Coffey at the point. His shot, Barron the save. Rebound, Anderson tried to get a shot away, and Barron covered up.
Well, the Oilers moving the puck around in the perimeter area, getting it from Anderson to Gretzky, Gretzky to Coffey. Coffey will get an excellent shot away. Again, I'm impressed with where Mark Barron is. Anderson's right in the front, poised for the rebound. Because he's 6'3", Mark Barron's got the long arms, and he just reaches out and smothers the puck. But the Jets doing a very commendable job in front of Mark Barron tonight.
But Anderson with 23 goals on the season, but he wouldn't have got one there because he kicked the puck. Curry to Wayne Gretzky. He waits. Back to Coffey. 25 seconds on the penalty. Coffey shot and a stick save by Barron. He was out to challenge again. Anderson to Curry in the corner.
They're getting them shots from the blue line, Bruce, but there's nobody really in front of Barron to cause any distraction or to get that rebound should it fall free.
8 seconds in the penalty. Barry Long has made changes for the Jets. Coffey gets away from Brian Mullen. To Anderson. He let it go to Gretzky. Fakes the shot. Maybe waited a little too long. Nope, still has the puck. Then he lost it to Brian Mullen. Laurie Boschman is out of the penalty box. Oilers 0 for 1 on the power play. The Jets have scored a power play goal. That by Scott Arneal. Napier turns away from Waters. Takes the shot high off the chest of Barron. Didn't know where the puck was. And Gretzky has it. Anderson's in front. The Jets all over Gretzky. And they finally clear it. Here's Mullen racing down the left side. Winding up. Shoots. The save by Grant here. And he covers up as Neufeld was looking for the rebound. The Jets have played well. It's 2-0 here in the first.
We'll be home with IGA.
I can get the reindeer on the roof. I can too.
I'll go get some more wood for the fire.
And I'll pour the eggnog. Daddy's present under the tree. Happy holidays. We wish you all the season's best from IGA.
Just prior to breaking away from commercial, Big Jim Kite and McSorley have been going at it. Mighty McSorley got the first 3 or 4 good punches in, and Kite is now starting to get his licks in. But at the initial part, McSorley hammered Jimmy Kite. We now have Bobby Dallas going at it with Don Jackson. All this started after the breakaway by Mullen. Waters and Anderson collided in front of the Oiler bench, and everybody just come together and started throwing. Waters is now pushing Wayne Gretzky in front of the penalty box. The linesman, Wayne Forsey, has finally got Jim Kite into the box, and the stamina and the strength of Big Jim Kite allowed him to last in the bout with Marty McSorley, but it was one of the more classic fisticuffs I've seen this year. You now see the two captains talking to each other. Howardchuk having been cut over the left eye. The fans are all standing up here, clapping and whistling and applauding. They haven't seen this much action all year.
Well, if you remember the first game of the season between these two teams in Edmonton, it was a lot rougher than most people expected, and had a mini brawl here, really, as McSorley and Kite went at it. Dulles and Jackson went at it. Anderson's trying to get a Waters, and I don't think I've ever seen Wayne Gretzky get pushed around in a skirmish like he did by Tim Waters.
You know, the fans in Winnipeg have been waiting for this hockey club to play with some emotion. If emotion means that you have to stand up and be counted, to be aggressive, to stand up and be fighting, then that's what the fan here is waiting for. And I don't say it has a big part in the game, but when you're challenged, you have to respond. And that's what's happened to the Winnipeg Jets tonight. And the Edmonton Oilers down 2-0. they certainly don't want to see a third goal take effect, or they don't want to see Winnipeg start getting the physical part of their game going.
That was quite the heavyweight classic between Judd and McSorley, wasn't it?
I'll tell you, Big Marty, the Big M, got a few in early. Here's how things started. Jackson and Neufeld start swinging right here. This is Bobby Dallas, who has only got 10 minutes in penalty. He's kind of retreating there, doesn't he look like, to make sure that Mark Perry gets in between them. But Wayne and Howardchuk also were involved in it, not throwing any punches. But for one of the few times in the league games, you see the big men out there fighting against the big men. And I think the average fan does not get bothered by that.
And the fans are getting on Glenn Sather, and Glenn Sather's getting on the fans. He doesn't take anything.
Glenn Sather has not had a good day, because we were informed via the wire services that he was fined $5,000 today for his actions in the Philadelphia-Edmonton game, where Don Kahorsky had him evicted at the start of the third period. He says he knows nothing about it, and he'll have to wait until he gets the official letter. The smaller referee in the league, Kerry Fraser, gets the bigger fighters.
Boy, and he was trying to play peacemaker out there, too, was Kerry Fraser, the 33-year-old referee. Some consider him the best in the NHL right now, and he handled that situation pretty well, I thought. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first period. The Jets have a 2-0 lead.
Gather round for the holiday party of the year. Dionne Warwick's Deck in the Halls with the solid gold sounds of Christmas '85. Join Barry Manilow, Donna Summer, John Schneider, and Suzanne Summers. All your holiday favorites on stage. The Chipmunks, the Captain and Tennille, Laura Branigan, New Edition, and James Ingram. Join the party and guest co-host Eddie Rabbit for 2 hours of a solid gold Christmas.
Saturday night at 9 on ITV.
In a few minutes, we will try to sort out the penalty minutes. With 5:30 on the clock, most of the combatants will go into the dressing room. We do know that Anderson gets a 10-minute penalty because he has a misconduct for joining the practice after he was warned not to. And actually, Bruce, he's quite lucky he wasn't evicted from the game, because he could have been the third man into that fight.
That's going to hurt the Jets, losing Tim Waters, because they're already missing Randy Carlyle on defense tonight.
Well, here at some of the penalties right here for Winnipeg. Dallas will get a 5-minute fighting penalty. Kite will get a 5-minute fighting penalty and a game misconduct. McSorley will also get fighting. Jackson will get a game and a major for fighting. Anderson gets a charging penalty and a 10-minute misconduct. The original penalty was to Anderson for charging on Tim Waters. Meanwhile, that little black thing called the puck is part of this game. And right now, the Jets are the only ones that have been able to put it behind that goal red line. They lead 2-0 on goals by Murray Eves and Scott Arneal. And you know, you and Tim are going to be saying, you told me the Jets weren't playing well. You said it's going to be a whitewash. You said their defense was poor. What can I tell you? Up till tonight, they have been playing very poorly. They played fairly well Wednesday night in Vancouver, particularly the third period. But you know, the Edmonton Oilers do something to hockey clubs. Kevin Lowe said it best. He says, every time we go into a building, a team is up against us and want to play very, very well.
Bobby Dallas and Tim Waters both picked up game misconducts for the Jets, so they're down 2 defensemen, left with 4, including Wade Campbell and Jim Kite, who's in the penalty box, so they only have 3 defensemen on the bench right now. 5:30 to go first period. Shots are even at 6 apiece, but the Jets lead the Oilers 2-0.
Well, actually, with this power play, Steen is on the point, so they more likely will use him a little bit there.
Mirwa winding up the shot. Fuhrer came way out the challenge, kicked it out. McTavish to Kevin Lowe. Gretzky also on the ice. Hoagland takes the pass. Over to Gretzky. Fighting for the puck in the corner. McTavish turns and shoots, and a good pad save by Barron. McTavish again a shot.
He'll get a hooking penalty.
Good save by Mark Barron.
I'm sure Mirwa or somebody will take a holding or hooking penalty on McTavish in front of the net. What a dandy play by McTavish. Watch a little spinorama right here. There's the grab right there by Mirwa, and the referee, Kerry Fraser, was right on the job. He caught it, because had he had his back turned and in a different position, he would not have seen the right hand of Marois come out and grab him. That now leaves the Jets with 2 defensemen on their bench. Wade Campbell and Dave Ellett. And Ellett is talking to Barry Long saying, "You want me to go out?" There is the 6-year veteran of the National Hockey League, Kerry Fraser. Had a seminar with Fraser 2 years ago up in Edmonton, and he is an excellent speaker, and he really knows what he wants to do with his career in the National Hockey League.
Well, has he been busy handing out stats the last couple of games? All those goals in Chicago on Wednesday and all the penalties here in the first period.
Bruce, he makes no question about it. He makes the call, and he makes it right away.
Wade Campbell to Thomas Steen. Jets down to 2 defensemen. They were 1 for 1 on the power play, but it all came to an end, their second one, when Miroir took that penalty. Here's Boschman, the shot! He had a lot behind it. Grant Fuhr got a piece of it.
A tremendous stop by Grant Fuhr, because Kevin Lowe went down on his knees to stop the shot from Boschman, and he gets a partial screen. Here's the pass right over there to Boschman. Now watch Kevin go down and caused a little bit of a screen. Right there, the quickness of his hand and the fact that he's about a foot in front of the crease makes that stop. That's perhaps the hardest stop for a goaltender, the half screen shot.
121 in the minor penalty to Glenn Anderson. Boschman and McTavish to the right of Grant Fuhr for this faceoff. Boschman won it. Ellett a shot, and he didn't miss by much. Wade Campbell over on the other side. Trying to move down the boards against Napier was grabbed. Craig McTavish and Boschman. McTavish behind the net to Paul Coffey. Back to McTavish with Mark Napier. Team's playing 5 aside right now. Napier going wide on Dave Ellett, trying to cut in. Back to Charlie Huddy. He feeds it into the corner for McTavish. He was tied up by Wade Campbell in front.
It's going to be interesting when one of the Jet defensemen go over to the bench to see who goes on for him.
Wade Campbell. Pass on the right side to Nill. It's called on the 2-line offside pass.
Now we look at the man they affectionately call Latree. He played as college hockey at the University of Alberta for Claire Drake. He has been spending most of this season in Sherbrooke. The injury to Randy Carlisle, he got a reprieve and he was brought up. He played effectively Wednesday night against Vancouver. He lacks finesse. And for a man that is 6'4", 220 pounds, he is really not that aggressive. But he is getting better. He is playing his position with a little more stability.
Jets have some giants on defense with Campbell, Dawlis, Kite. Dawlis weighs in at 220. Of course, he's gone for the night. Here's Dave Ellett. He was born in Cleveland. And Randy Gregg has the puck for the Oilers across to McClellan. 25 seconds and the minor penalty to Anderson. Lumley going after the puck, and Barron was out to play it. He's had a good first period for the Jets. Mark Barron. Ron Wilson scoops it out on the backhand. And Randy Gregg goes back in his own zone after it. Randy Gregg's wife, Kathy, I'm sure watching tonight. She's a Winnipeg girl, and Dave Lumley has the puck. To Kevin Lowe. Now for McClellan. Lowe overskated it at the Jets line. It's poked in by Lumley, and Wade Campbell has it. Takes a look and shoots it to the Oiler bench. They were making a change, and it hit one of the players coming off, and the fans make some noise about that. Here's Paul Coffey trying to gather speed as he hits that Jet line. Centers of McClellan got the shot away. Went off Ron Wilson to Ellett. Now it's center for Doug Smale. He had to stop against Coffey and shoots it in. Team's back at full strength now. 2:58 left. In the first period, it's 2-0 Winnipeg. Howardchuk to Mullen with Neufeld on the right side. Mullen shoots, and he missed the corner. Gretzky just tips it out against Howardchuk. He plays it back to Ellett at his own line. Shoots it in wide of the Oiler net. Neufeld took a whack at it. Howardchuk to Mullen. Neufeld in front. The shot and a stick save by Grant Fuhr. Coffey and Mullen battle for it in the corner. Dave Semenko has it. Back behind the net for Paul Coffey. Mullen forechecking for the Jets. Ray Neufeld to Mullen. To Howardchuk. Shoots. And a diving play by Huddy at center for Mullen. He was knocked down. And the Oilers will be short-handed as Howardchuk, Neufeld, and Mullen do some good checking in the Oilers zone.
Oh, Gretzky will get the penalty for hooking after some persistent forechecking by the Winnipeg Jets. The fans are standing and clapping. They're excited by the play of the Jets tonight. There's the play, a great pass. Look at the dive by Huddy. Here's the hook right here, right in front of the net. And you're looking at the premier diver in the National Hockey League. And I speak of Brian Mullen. He goes down with the touch of a feather. And Wayne had a smile on his face. He says, I know what happened, and he'll remember it. But take nothing away from the Jets. They were persistent. They were forechecking. They were skating hard.
So the Jets.
Pacers, and I suggest that you stay and make a point of watching it. It is just terrific entertainment.
Scott Arneal in the corner. He was checked by Kevin Lowe. Billy Carroll rolls it down the boards for Craig McTavish. Thomas Steen in his own zone. To Miroir, former captain of the Quebec Nordique. To Laurie Boschman. In for Arneal. He was hooked by Hunter. Turnbull scores!
A great play that time by Laurie Boschman. The Oilers were getting a penalty on the hook on Scott Arneal, but that will be nullified because of the goal scored. Here, watch a little dump pass. A beautiful little play. Just shovels it into there. There was the penalty being called, and Turnbull, who has been very, very consistent this year for the Jets, just directs the puck in between the legs. There's the penalty call. Second effort by Scott Arneal, who has played very well, scoring the second goal for the Jets. And the Jets are full measure for their 3-0 lead.
Barry Turnbull's 12th of the season, and he scored a hat trick the last time these two teams met here at the Winnipeg Arena.
I'm sure Glenn will have something to say to his troops in between the periods.
I'm sure he will. Miroir at center. Backhands it in for the Jets. 1:40 left. First period. It's 3-0 Winnipeg. Kevin Lowe for Suominen. Silk on the ice to Ron Wilson. Eaves in front. He's got a goal tonight for Winnipeg. Wilson is grabbed by Kevin Lowe. Still fighting for the puck. And this is something Jet fans haven't seen, as Dave Richardson was telling you earlier.
They're playing with emotion. They're playing like they want to play the game.
Fogle into Suominen. His slap shot went off Miroir's stick behind the net. Fogelin in from the point. His shot off McClellan. Here's Lumley looking for Suominen in front. There's the pass to him. Loose puck. Lumley after it again, and the Jets have it. Silk with Wilson.
You know, Bruce, a problem the Jets have had since the trade of Babbage has been able to go into transition from defense to offense, and tonight they have been doing it very, very effectively. You saw them that time get the puck and break out of the zone.
Craig to Suominen. He's checked by Wade Campbell. Howardchuk put it on Gretzky's stick in the corner to Curry, and he was checked by Howardchuk. 38 seconds remaining in the first period. Suominen to Gretzky. Hanging on to it, Curry in front. Gretzky's slap shot off Smale's stick, and it goes into the crowd, and we have a penalty coming up for slashing to the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, sometimes you can get a little too aggressive, and you don't want to be using the stick because you don't want to take the momentum away from your hockey club with 29 seconds to go in the period. You want to go in there with that big goose egg, and that's going to be very, very important to what the penalty killers do for the remaining part of this period. You have a look at the penalty. Right there is the penalty by Campbell. He takes a slash, and you really, Bruce, it's not necessary because he's outside of the blue line. He's really not going anywhere with the puck, so he just keeps him at that distance, and that's a bad penalty to take in the last minute of a period.
19:31, the time of the slashing penalty. To Wade Campbell of the Jets, Gretzky and Boschman to face off. Curry, Semenko, Huddy, and Gregg also on this Oiler power play. But Ellett shoots it down the ice with 24 seconds left in the first period, and the fans getting on Grant Fuhr. Gregg to Gretzky. Across to Yari Curry. Oilers will have to hustle to organize. Huddy looking for Semenko, and he couldn't get a stick on the puck. Gregg at the right point. His shot went off Steen. Miroir for the Jets. Around the board, 6 seconds in the period. Huddy to Curry. To Randy Gregg. His shot, that hit Ellett. Gregg again, the shot. Went off Miroir and wide of the Jet goal.
It's important, Bruce, for the Oilers to go into the dressing room, discuss what they want to do at the start of the second period. They've got to score a goal. They've got to put some self-doubt into the minds of the Winnipeg Jet Hockey Club.
Jets are down a couple of defensemen. The score after one. The Jets 3 and the Oilers nothing.
Change can change what the forwards and the defense have to do in front of them.
Well, Andy Moog has 12 wins on the season and has been playing very well, so he's in net to start this second period. It's just underway. The Jets leading at 3-0. 1:22 in the penalty to the Jets' Wade Campbell. So the Oilers are on the power play. Yari Curry. Lumley goes for the front of the net. Gretzky, the other forward. Huddy and Coffey at the points. Charlie Huddy to Yari Curry. Now to Gretzky. Lumley in front. Miroir has him tied up. Curry back at the point, but Huddy had moved in, and the puck comes out.
There's a penalty to Miroir, I'm pretty sure, in front of the net. Or he's giving it to Lumley. Oh. Miroir was complaining to referee Kerry Fraser, and then he said, "It's not you, it's number 8, Dave Lumley." In the front of the net, watch Dave Lumley. Now he's playing on the left side on the line with Curry and Gretzky. There he is. Oh, he's holding onto his stick. You see him grab Miroir's stick. He held onto it, and Fraser did not miss the infraction. Fraser has done an excellent job tonight. You mentioned a lot of penalties, but most of them took place in that one fisticuffs.
Well, Dave Lumley, who doesn't play the power play all that often.
Now you know why.
Now in the penalty box. Doug Smale for the Jets with Howardchuk. He had a good first period for Winnipeg. Yari Curry with Coffey. Gretzky is trailing on the play. Coffey at the point to Curry. Couldn't handle the pass. Miroir to Smale. And his pass went behind the captain of the Jets, Dale Howardchuk. 130 points last season. A little behind that pace. Here's Curry. Penalty coming up to the Jets. Gretzky has the puck behind the net. Huddy's moved in. Now he goes back to the point after it and keeps it in. McTavish, the extra forward. Huddy tried to give it away. And finally, a penalty. Live from the Winnipeg Arena, this is your Molson Hockey Telecast.
There's something that's been happening everywhere around. You can see the way it feels. You can feel the way it sounds. There's an easy kind of rhythm going with the flow. Diving without being done. Knowing when to stop and go. It's a new attitude. There's a new attitude. There's a new attitude. Easy going cool. It's a whole new attitude.
Dave Ellett, 108, hooking. Watch the speed of Paul Coffey come across the blue line, and really, Ellett catches right there. He just pulls him down, and I guess Glenn said, "Hey, get out there and start skating. That's your game. Skate." Force the Winnipeg Jets to take the hooking and the holding penalties, and that's just what the Oilers have done at the start of this period. It will be 4-on-3. There is no better hockey club in the National Hockey League, 4-on-3, than the Edmonton Oilers.
2 Oilers in the box, 3 Jets. Face off to the left of Mark Barron. Washburn winning the draw from Gretzky. Thomas Steen to Miroir, and he fires it down the ice. Andy Moog out to stop the puck for Coffey.
And 3 of the Jets that are in the penalty box are defensemen. Thomas Steen is playing on the blue line, so they are short on the blue line.
Paul Coffey to Curry. They'll try and take advantage of Steen being back on defense. Here's Gretzky moving in. Fakes the shot. Barron out to challenge. Made the save and covers up on the short side.
Bruce, do you remember what we were talking about before the game, Wayne Gretzky and I? If Mark Barron is there, he'll come out the challenge, hold on to the puck for a second, a half second, and he'll go down. Did you see Barron that time? He didn't. He made the challenge to Wayne Gretzky. Wayne has got to be shaking his head just a little bit because the youngster from Wisconsin has been playing very, very well. There's the hold right there. Wait. He didn't go down. The man that has been known as the flopper has stood up tonight.
Barron wearing 31. You may recall he used to wear 29. What's the reason for the number change, Dave?
Actually, they cut the sweater up to use the pieces to make this one a little bit bigger.
Wade Campbell behind the net to Miroir. Return pass to Campbell. Now the teams are 5 aside. There's a giveaway. Curry gets a second chance after Barron made the save. Then he's stumped by Miroir. Another penalty, and Kerry Fraser is not hesitating tonight to call penalties.
There's no question about it. He called the penalty as soon as it took place.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just
Charles.
Catherine.
Do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
No. What is it?
Share the fantasy. Chanel number 5.
The man in the middle is Mario Marois. He will go for hooking at 153. He is flanked by two defensemen. Watch Curry do a little button hook right there. Marois gets a stick and pushes him, and he gets the hooking call. The Jets once more have a man in the penalty box that is from the defensive unit.
So a great opportunity for the Oilers. They'll have a two-man advantage in 34 seconds. Curry to Huddy, to Gretzky, and it will roll off his stick. Has the puck behind the net, watched closely by Barron. Now to Coffey at the point. Oilers trying to set it up across to Yari Curry. Winds up, scores!
In between the legs of Mark Barron, and it was just a matter of time. 4-on-3. The fans are booing here, and they're booing Kerry Fraser, but watch the Oilers with a little bit of patience. Now watch in between the legs of Barron. You see where he's standing, Bruce? He's got to come out just a little bit more, then that puck is going to hit him in the midsection. Instead, he stands back into the net. He gets that hard shot because it's the partial screen by Thomas Steen, who is really not a defenseman. And a normal defenseman would have gone down and maybe tried to block that shot. So Curry, who has been hotter than a pistol, 2 hat tricks in his last 4 games, gets the Oilers on the scoreboard. On a good passing play from the blue line, Wayne Gretzky.
23rd goal of the season for Curry at 2:11. And the Oilers are on the scoreboard. Barry Long was very upset, said something to Kerry Fraser as he went over to announce the goal. Now here's Gretzky. Gets away from Kite to Curry. He faked the shot. Gretzky along the boards. Dumped it through the crease. Charlie Huddy walks it behind the net for Gretzky. Came to the side of the net, and Barron flops on it with Curry right there, and now the Oilers are on the power play again.
The momentum has changed. Here's an out-of-town. Hartford 6-4 over Buffalo. Hartford were down at one point in that hockey game, 3-0. So they challenged and they battled back to get a victory. You mentioned Barry Long. Much speculation here in the last week or so that he would be replaced. I don't think he's going to be happy. He'll take Kerry Fraser with him if he goes. But those were penalties that Fraser called. Though they not be the most kindly ones to call, they're penalties.
Gretzky and Coffey drew assists on the goal by Curry. Huddy to Paul Coffey. To Curry, and he banged on it. Had the wide open corner, didn't get good wood on the puck.
I'd like to have that one back.
Curry fighting for it now. Napier, the other forward for the Oilers. Gretzky behind the net for Napier. Skates away from Wade Campbell. Back of the point for Huddy. Howardchuk there for the Jets. Shot at the center. Paul Coffey, his streak now at 10 games. Gretzky's at 21. Curry, the Charlie Huddy moves in, shoots. Barron the save, and he hangs on. Mark Napier looking for a rebound.
You see where Barron caught that puck in his midsection. Had he had then come out and made the challenge on Yari Curry, he'd have had the puck the same way. Curry getting an excellent opportunity with the open net. He could have made it 3-2. I was going to say that maybe even myself I could score with an open net, but the puck comes rather quickly, and he has to one-time it. You see where his stick was a little in tight for him, but if he doesn't swing at it right there, it's going to go in between his legs. So the pass that was directed from the blue line was fairly quick.
47 seconds, and the penalty to Mario Marois. Oilers have Gretzky, Curry, Coffey, and Napier. And now Charlie Huddy. Boschman and Wilson, the forwards for the Jets, with Wade Campbell and Dave Ellett. Wade Campbell's been pressed into a lot of service for the Jets tonight.
By reason of elimination, you get to play a lot. It's kind of nice sometime when you've been warming the bench and you get a chance to show that you're a capable hockey player.
Ron Wilson won the faceoff from Curry as the original two were waved out. Dave Ellett rolls it down the boards. Boschman to Ellett. Couldn't clear it. Huddy to Mark Napier. Now to Gretzky. Curry off the side of the net. Gretzky has it behind. Moving in his Coffey. Shoots. Good save by Barron. Here's Curry in the corner. Oilers set it up well, but Barron made a good save. Here's Coffey, the shot. And a stick save by Mark Barron. Napier behind the net. Ellett was there. Gretzky back for Napier. Ellett to Ron Wilson. Takes a look. On the right side for Boschman. Pass was too high. 9 seconds and the penalty to Marois. As Coffey nearly made it 3-2. Charlie Huddy skates to center. He was grabbed by Laurie Boschman. Ellett shoots it down the ice.
That's only the second time in this period that the puck has been inside of the Oiler blue line, and 4 minutes have been played.
Here's Paul Coffey leading a rush. Shoots, saved by Barron. Doesn't know where the puck is. Then he saw it with Raimo Suominen racing in.
Oiler pressure. Mark Barron, who's been the story tonight for the Winnipeg Jets, called upon to make 19 stops so far. Here's the first stop that he will make in front of the net right here. Comes out, kicks out that right leg. Coffey moving in from the blue line. And here Paul will come out and get a hard slap shot. Barron will look inside the net. I guess he's kind of used to looking for it behind him. He does make the stop with the left leg that time. And it's important because Winnipeg have not had good goaltending or sound goaltending all year, and it really does a lot for your psyche and for your confidence for your goaltender to come up and make big stops for you. Now, the Jets have been a man short for this entire second period. If they can weather the storm right here, they'll feel that much better about it all.
Well, the Jets are back at full strength. Full strength hasn't been a common part of this hockey game tonight so far. McClellan and Boschman, the face-off to the right of Mark Barron.
But it makes it exciting, Bruce.
Mario Miroir, the Boschman, former first-round pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then he stopped off in Edmonton. Arneal couldn't center it against Kevin Lowe. Randy Gregg up the boards for Marty McSorley to McClellan with Suominen, and they're 2-on-1. Miroir's back. Here's Suominen, shoots. Good save by Barron. He came sliding across to make it. Gregg to Suominen. Gets around Thomas Steen. Now Perry Turnbull takes over for the Jets. He sidestepped the check from McClellan. Suominen for the Oilers. He lost it to Scott Arneal, the former Cornwall Royal Junior star.
Keep in mind now the Jets are using Steen on the blue line.
McTavish has Suominen trailing. Gets around Steen. Shoots, and it went off Miroir wide of the net. Perry Turnbull. Rink-wide pass to Scott Arneal. To Howardchuk. And he was checked by Paul Coffey. Semenko for the Oilers. With Napier speeding down the right side. He missed him with the pass. Behind the net. Napier beat Ellett to the puck. Napier centers it. Went to Wade Campbell. And he sends Arneal on his way. Howardchuk on the left side. And Paul Coffey came racing back for the Oilers. Play is opening up. That's the way the Oilers like it. McTavish with Napier and Semenko. Poke check by Ellett, gets it back. Goes behind the net, was tripped up by Howardchuk. A penalty coming up to the Edmonton Oilers, I guess. Mullen, a long shot. Off the glass, nowhere near the net. Hustling in was Neufeld, and the Oilers will draw a penalty. I thought that the Winnipeg Jets were about to pick up another one. Glenn Sather can't believe it.
Is this it?
That's not it.
Is this it?
That's not it.
He should have gone to Davis.
Who was Mavis?
He said Davis.
I should have gone to Davis.
At Davis, we've got what you're looking for. Our staff is trained to know exactly what replacement part is right for your car, and they're trained to give prompt and courteous service. Davis Auto Centers, we've got what you're looking for.
We've got what you're looking for at Davis Auto Centers.
Dave Semenko for cross-checking at 5:48. Paul Coffey will take the puck and move up ice, but as he does so, watch the front of the net right there. There's the cross-check, and the play moves down the zone, and we thought the Jets' Howardchuk was being called behind the Oilers zone.
So the Jets are on the power play. Dave Ellett. Neufeld let it go for Mullen low behind the net for Lee Fogelin. Gretzky picks it up and backhands it just outside the Oilers zone. Jets power play, Miroir, Ellett, Howardchuk, Mullen, and Ray Neufeld. Oilers without Mark Messier, Mike Krushelnyski tonight, along with Esa Tikkanen. Howardchuk to Neufeld, and he directed it just wide of the net. Back for Ellett at the point, Mullen's in front. The shot by Ellett went wide. Jets looking for a deflection. Mullen back to Miroir, across to Ellett, Neufeld in front. But Ellett couldn't shoot the puck against Billy Carroll. Back to Miroir at the point. To Mullen in the corner. Howardchuk. Back to Ellett, shoots wide of the net. Howardchuk. Back to Ellett. He waits. Feeds it across for Miroir, and the puck came outside Oiler territory.
Ellett made a bad pass that time.
Miroir Fires it in for the Jets. Moog stops it. Decides to play it to Kevin Lowe. Puck came up the boards to Dave Hunter, and he shoots it down the ice. 40 seconds in the penalty to Dave Semenko.
Oilers doing a good job making sure the puck is not moved into the middle. It's being passed back and forth along the boards and out to the blue line, and you don't score that often from the blue line.
Mario Miroir to Laurie Boschman. Turnbull for the front of the net. Into the corner for Arneal. Behind the net to Turnbull. Back for Arneal. It hopped over his stick. Curry couldn't clear it. Miroir. His shot went off Gretzky's stick to Paul Coffey. 15 seconds in the penalty to Dave Semenko. Turnbull to Arneal. To Boschman. His shot. Moog tried to grab it. It came loose to Paul Coffey. To Gretzky at center. Now to Yari Curry one-on-one against Tim Waters. He shoots, and Barron just got a stick on that. Semenko's back on the ice. He goes after it against Laurie Boschman, a pair of former Brandon Wheat Kings. Here's Curry, centers it for Gretzky. Back for Curry. Semenko and Campbell are battling in front of the net. Now Semenko goes into the corner after it. Two Jets went after him. Gretzky for Curry in front. Here's Lowe coming in from the point. To Gretzky. Semenko grabs Wade Campbell in front.
There will certainly be a 2-minute penalty besides the 5-minute majors here. Semenko a little frustrated because of the 2-minute cross-checking penalty, and he quickly came out of the penalty box, went to the front of the net, tried to establish some territory. 6'5", Wade Campbell said, not in front of my net. I'm boss there. And they quickly threw their gloves down and threw some punches.
You see why they call him Tree. You could have called Timber there as they fell to the ice. Semenko and Wade Campbell scrapping in front of goaltender Mark Barron. So penalties are coming.
Safeway features Pepsi or 7-Up. 1-liter plastic bottles, just 99 cents.
Safeway's got it!
Hello?
It's him. Antonio.
Mom?
He said hello.
Hey, Tony, how are you? Long time no see. Thanks for the gift.
Antonio.
For the cost of a monthly subscription to First Choice Super Channel, someone you love can enjoy great entertainment all year long.
I bet your kids are
Call your cable company today.
The other night I saw Sophia. Bellissima. Oh, Papa.
First Choice Super Channel for 50 cents a day. No one should be without it.
As we speculated, David Semenko will get an additional 2 minutes for roughing. He and Campbell will also get 5 minutes. Watch to the left of Mark Barron in front of the net. David is moving to the front. Right there, you see how he takes his right hand and pulls his neck, and he pulls him right into him. When he senses that he's already got the penalty, he drops the gloves, but they're really at close quarters, and they don't get the fist moving as arm's length as they would like to. Glenn is not too happy. You can hear him yell to McTavish that he is up next. The man from the University of Alberta, Wade Campbell.
Glenn Anderson serving the minor penalty to Dave Semenko. Mario Miroir for the Jets. To Ellett. He shoots it in. Lowe couldn't golf it out, and Howardchuk has the puck. Back to Ellett, winding up, shoots, kicked out by Moog, big rebound, and Gretzky backhands it down the ice.
A good hockey play all around by the Jets' Dave Ellett for shooting it, and for Andy Moog coming out and getting the left leg on it. That's the type of hockey game we've seen all night. The Oilers right now out shooting the Jets 21-13. Jets only one shot in the second period.
Ellett ran into Fogle, and here's McTavish digging in. He lost the puck to Mullen. Ellett to Miroir. Jets on the power play, leading the hockey game 3-1. 11:02 left, second period. It was 3-0 Jets after one. Ellett in his second season to Miroir. And he was checked by Craig McTavish. Long lead pass for Brian Mullen. Andy Moog way out of the net to play it, high off the glass, and the puck went out of play.
Oh, when Glenn Sather had a chance to pick up the free agent, Craig McTavish, he did not hesitate at all. He knew he was a good defensive hockey player who liked to play in his end of the rink. I don't think he bargained for the 22 scoring points that he's got on McTavish so far this season. He's only had a career high of 43 when he played in Boston, so he has been an added offensive power for the Oilers.
Face-off will be to the left of Andy Moog. 54 seconds in the penalty to Dave Semenko.
something McTavish does well, face-offs.
So does Laurie Boschman, and he's in there against him. Boschman won that draw. To Thomas Steen, now playing a point position. Waters, the other defenseman. He winds up. His shot went wide. Gretzky trying to clear it against Steen. Puck bounces high. Boschman kept it in. Now here comes Gretzky with Coffey. Turnbull trying to catch up to Coffey. Gretzky waiting, centered it for McTavish, and he almost knocked Arneal right into the net with a puck.
But some nice back-checking by Scott Arneal that time, something the Jets have been guilty of not doing this season.
Perry Turnbull going wide on Charlie Huddy. Gets the stick in there. They fight for it behind the net. Turnbull has the puck. Boschman in front. A bad pass, and the Oilers have it. McTavish with Hunter. Here's Hunter cutting in. Looking for McTavish, one off the skate of Waters. Oilers are now back at full strength as Anderson's out of the penalty box. Steen kicks it to Tim Waters. Glenn Anderson took a run at him. Arneal hit McTavish with the pass. And it's Glenn Anderson. Gets by 2 Jets. Almost 3, but Thomas Steen got in his way. Turnbull to Arneal. Now to Boschman. He flips it in. Moog had to be careful as the Jets make changes. Randy Gregg tried to bank it off the board. Smales some good forechecking. Mill moves in to check Anderson. Boschman to Ellett at the point. Wait, shoot, and just missed the net. Nill is skated to the boards by Gregg, but has the puck. Good work by Jim Nill. Hunter takes a swing at him.
Playoff hockey, Bruce.
Miroir shot went off Gretzky to Anderson. Gretzky going through the middle, and Dave Ellett made a good defensive play as the Oilers were looking for a breakaway.
That Ellett's going to be one tired hockey player before this evening's over.
Plays it to the boards. Curry is there. To Gretzky in the corner. Centers it. Here's Anderson waiting. Looking for Curry. Anderson has it again. And he's checked by Doug Smale. Ron Wilson to Jim Nill. He pokes it out to center. Nill looks like he's been hurt. Now he'll stay out there, shaking up a little bit. And Kevin Lowe has the puck for the Oilers. Smale intercepts. In on the right side for Ron Wilson. Randy Gregg is there to Gretzky. He has Yari Curry with him. Left it for Anderson. Waters trying to clear it. Here's Tim Waters for Winnipeg. He just Olsen and Silk on the ice for Winnipeg. McClellan, Subinin, and McSorley for the Oilers. Tim Waters for Silk. He was bumped by Paul Coffey. Charlie Huddy to Subinin. He backhands it through center, and Thomas Steen is back to get it. Playing defense for the Jets as they're a little short with the injury to Bobby Dulles, or rather the game misconduct to Bobby Dulles. Eves hammered Lowe. Tried to center it. Lowe's all right, and McSorley has the puck. To Subinin, and diving was Tim Waters. Subinin behind the net. To the side of the net, McClellan is there for the Oilers. Trying to move in front, shoots! And he went to the top corner, went over top of the net, and out of play is McSorley, and Steen mixed it up.
A little more aggression by the Oiler forwards is necessary for them to start scoring on goal. Goaltender Mark Barron. I think it's important for the Oiler forwards to get in the face of Mark Barron because he has been playing well. He's been challenging the shooter, and they've got to cause some distraction in front of the net. That's why Kevin McClellan and McSorley were going to the net that time, and it created the best scoring opportunity for the Oilers in the last 5 minutes. And it's important that you take advantage of the weakness of the Jets' defense. And by weakness, I mean that they're short-staffed, and they've got to use a center iceman on the blue line. You mentioned that Kevin took a pretty good hit from Murray Eves in the corner. Watch him lose his balance right here. He doesn't get hit. He actually loses his own balance with his right leg. He gets up after that hit and goes slowly to the bench, and you'll see him right here taking a little bit of a breather.
Hey, bang that broken nose of his.
Oh, that could be tender. Brings water to your eyes.
Howardchuk to Mullen. He was bumped by Lee Fogelin. Randy Gregg back in his own zone. Gregg playing with Fogelin, of course, low on the bench. Here's Napier with Fogelin trailing Hunter for the front of the net. It's centered. Miroir missed it. McTavish for the Oilers. For Hunter. Behind the net to Napier. He centers it. Hunter knocks it down. Hangs on to it. To Napier in the corner. checked by Dave Ellett. Howardchuk. Randy Gray couldn't keep it in, and Fogelin hustled through it at his own line. Mario Mirwas to Dave Ellett. Now to Mullen. He just shoots it in right to Andy Moog, who replaced Bureau to start the second period. Hasn't been scored on as of yet. Anderson slops it in for the Oilers. Here's Napier. Puck goes high to Charlie Huddy. His weak shot was swept away by Steen. Here's Paul Coffey for Gretzky. Skates away from Laurie Boschman. Now for Coffey, it was intercepted by Neufeld. Perry Turnbull on the left side. His shot went off Charlie Huddy's stick. Wide of the net. Boschman for Turnbull behind the net. Huddy is there for the Oilers. Paul Coffey has it. Out to Glenn Anderson with Gretzky and Curry. Steen wraps it around the boards to Perry Turnbull. Oilers were making a change on defense. Turnbull is grabbed by Fogelin. Pass went behind Laurie Boschman. Anderson for the Oilers to Gretzky. Here's Fogelin coming up on the play. Gretzky was checked by Dave Ellett, who's been strong on the blue line. Lead pass for Arneal. Moog is out to play it.
I think it's very important for your defense to stand up at the blue line, exactly like Ellett did. Don't let the Oilers get that blue line.
Gretzky on the right side for Anderson. Ellett broke that play up. Lee Fogelin to Anderson. Down the left side, Wilson keeping his eye on Gretzky. Here's Anderson cutting for the net. Shoots, and Barron has got it in the crease as Glenn Anderson went charging in for the Oilers. 4:34 to play in the second period.
Some people get a little excited when it comes to Christmas.
To Dad, from Santa.
They love to receive gifts, and you'd like to give them what they want most without blowing your budget.
From me, Dad.
This Christmas, let your generosity shine through.
And this one's from me, dear.
Shop at Superstore, where your gift-giving budget buys you more.
1926, Mario Marois will go off for slashing after a great individual effort by Glenn Anderson. There's where Marois makes his mistake. He does not stand up. You see the slash, of course, obvious. But he does not stand up at the blue line. Because of the speed of Anderson, he has to back in. In doing so, he has to turn, and when Anderson gets that extra step, bang, it's got to be the two-hander.
Oiler power play, McTavish, Napier, Hutter, Coffey, and Huddy.
This is an important power play for both teams.
McTavish on the left side to Dave Hutter. Across for Huddy, and that play was broken up by Laurie Boschman. He goes to the bench in favor of Howardchuk. Dave Hutter for the Oilers. Lost control to Campbell, then sloshed him. And I don't think Kerry Fraser, the referee, saw it, or the Oilers would have drawn a penalty. The Oilers a little frustrated by a good checking Jets hockey club tonight. McTavish down the right side. The Mark Napier shoots. Barron got a piece of it.
But he didn't get the second chance, eh? That's what it is. He's coming out to get the first shot, but they're not getting that second one.
Charlie Huddy hanging on to the puck. Down the boards for McTavish. Behind the net for Anderson. Now to Paul Coffey, and Anderson didn't get enough on the pass. Smale nearly stole it. Charlie Huddy takes it inside the Jet zone, and Ellett scoops it down the ice. 47 seconds in the penalty to Marois. Here's Coffey. Going wide on Wade Campbell. Gretzky now on the ice for the Oilers. Across to Anderson, shoots, scores! As it went in off the inside of the post.
Well, if you keep the pressure, you keep skating, good things are going to happen to you. That time it's a little bit of a fluke, but the great play by Gretzky to look for the open man, who happens to be Glenn Anderson. Watch Paul take the puck deep. All right, you got to get the blue line. You've got a man advantage. He does so. He passes it back along the boards. Now watch the open man in front of the net. And the one thing about it is Glenn wastes no time. He just one-times it right here. And the quickness of the shot off the leg of Dave Ellett, but had he not shot it right away, Ellett would have had an opportunity to get in front of him and screen him. Right there, it just comes off, and kind of like a change of pace off the foot of Ellett.
Well, the power play has gotten the Oilers back in this hockey game. That's their second power play goal of the night. And Glenn Anderson continues to be hot. It's his 24th goal of the season. Gretzky will get his second assist. Perry Turnbull unable to center it for the Jets, and Kevin McClelland has the puck. Ramo Suominen trying to get away from Laurie Boschman, having some trouble. Marois takes him into the corner. Marty McSorley for the Oilers. To McClelland in the corner. Tim Waters got it to the point. Kevin Lowe was there. Suominen looking for McSorley, who was cruising in. And it's golfed down the ice by Perry Turnbull.
Bruce, at this point in the hockey game, in the second period, the Oilers have outshot the Winnipeg Jets 12-2.
Sunday morning at 11, it's a battle of the NFC West when the NFL champions, the San Francisco 49ers, meet the New Orleans Saints. Both teams are smarting after losses last week. New Orleans to the last-place Cardinals on Sunday, and the 49ers to their Western Division rivals, the Rams, on Monday. They'll be struggling for those all-important playoff positions when the San Francisco 49ers travel to New Orleans to line up against the Saints. Sunday morning at 11, here on ITV, Channel 13, Cable 8.
Things have not been rosy for Barry Long in the second period. I'm sure he's going to cross Kerry Fraser off his Christmas list.
Well, Fraser's called a tight game.
He's called a good hockey game. It has not taken away from the hockey game, the penalties. That's part of the hockey game. If you're going to hook, you're going to hold. You deserve to pay the price.
Barron left it for Ellett behind the net. Mark Barron's played well tonight. In goal for Winnipeg. Coffey to Gretzky in the corner. Oilers looking for the equalizer. A backhand shot, and Barron just got his arm there in time.
Coming up in tonight's second intermission, an interesting look at today's hockey equipment with John Davidson and friends. That feature and much more following the second period. Stay with us.
I'm sure you'll enjoy that piece on the equipment. I told you how you would enjoy that piece on the coaches as the Pacers.
Has it changed a lot since you played the game, Dave? Or
are you talking about we use catalogs for pads? Come on.
15 or 20 years ago?
There was an interesting little situation right there. Gretzky one-on-one with Wade Campbell, both of them moving their heads back and forth. And that time, goaltender Mark Barron won out.
Oilers have outshot the Jets tonight. 25-14. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Winnipeg in front. Paul Coffey doesn't know what to do with it. Now across to Huddy. The shot wide of the Jet net. Marois off the boards and out. Jets have been icing the puck quite a bit in the last few moments. Huddy back to get it, and it's icing Jets.
I'm sure part of the reason that they've been icing the puck is that they're somewhat tired. They've been on the defensive for the entire second period, except for the two shots that they had at Andy Mogan. That took place on their own power play. So they have been in a defensive role, and they have done it very well.
This telecast is protected by copyright and is intended solely for the non-commercial entertainment of our viewing audience. Any use, reproduction, or distribution in whole or in part of the pictures or descriptions herein contained without the express consent of Canadian Sports Network and ITV is strictly prohibited. Charlie Huddy kicked it down the boards. Marois couldn't clear it. Curry for the Oilers. To Gretzky in the corner. Back to Curry in front. Backhand shot, and Barron made the save. Curry still battles for it for Gretzky. Had a stick lifted by Boschman. Dove at it. Couldn't get a stick on the puck. And play is whistled out. Front ahead. Anderson took a swing at Dave Silk.
He caught him on the side of the head with the stick. Now, I'm not that sure that Glenn swung the stick, or did Silk kind of half bring the stick over with him. Silk, who was acquired as a free agent this past summer for backup purposes on the right side. There's Glenn. Very intense. He knows how serious the call could turn out to be here. Silk, a fiery individual, has not played all that much in the last 5 or 6 games. I'm sure both players will go to their respective dressing rooms, or should go to their respective dressing rooms. There's only 1:30 to go in the period. That does not mean that Glenn Anderson is out of the hockey game. It just means that he's gone to the dressing room. Long is eagerly awaiting the call, as we are up here, and I'm sure you are at home.
Peter Miller, the therapist for the Oilers. How are you doing tonight, sir? He's sitting down on the bench.
And the fan says, listen, why did he do that?
Kerry Fraser will have to figure things out. Gretzky's right in the middle of that huddle, and he just picked up a misconduct.
You see Fraser talking to the linesman, Mark Perry, and to Wayne Forsey, and I believe Fraser did not see the call, and that's why he's talking to his linesman. And Gretzky does get a misconduct. It's good. Yeah, there he hangs his head. He knows that he can ill afford to get 10 minutes out of the third period. Glenn shakes his head and says, I need my best gunner out there.
Well, Wayne Gretzky went inside that circle around the penalty box, and Kerry Fraser quickly put his hands to his side.
You saw Fraser go over there. You know what he's doing, Bruce? If he draws blood, I believe it will be a 5-minute major. And if it goes on the clock as a 5-minute major, the fans in this building will let out a big roar.
Well, it took Dave Silk a while to cool off. Now, like Barry Long, he's anxiously awaiting the penalty call to Glenn Anderson. So the Oilers getting into trouble in the penalty box late in this second period.
Kite has not played in the second period. We mentioned that Thomas Steen was playing on the blue line. Perhaps in the fight with McSorley, Kite injured himself because he has not been on the ice in the second period. We are eagerly awaiting Kerry Fraser's call. He is talking to Paul Coffey and Laurie Boschman. They are the alternate captains for their respective teams. Wayne is unhappy. He talks to Peter.
Well, Wayne will be well rested for the third period.
I could read the lips of John Muckler, and he says he's got a match. He's got a match penalty. That being a 5-minute penalty. It is now posted up on the clock. Number 9, Glenn Anderson, 5 minutes. We'll await what it is, if it's high sticking or if it's for drawing blood, because I think if you get a match penalty, and I may be wrong in this, that you're automatically suspended from your next game until a review is put in by the official. A match penalty is far more serious than just a 5-minute major penalty.
Well, 5 minutes on the board, as Dave mentioned, a key part of this hockey game with the Jets leading at 3-2.
Paul Coffey explaining to Glenn Sather, John Muckler, and to the rest of the Oilers what the call will be. Fraser taking his time, making sure that the call is proper, does not want to penalize a player for something that he's not warranted to. Oh, Glenn says it's the wrong call.
Well, Kerry Fraser's set to go. I'm not so sure the Oilers are. Fans in Winnipeg are happy.
Wayne Gretzky, a 10-minute misconduct.
Fans really love that one.
It's confirmed, the 10-minute misconduct to Wayne Gretzky. Barry Long and Rick Bowness will be a little more relieved because they have only had 2 shots at Animoga in the second period. That is a match penalty to Glenn Anderson for attempt to injure. In my personal opinion, Glenn did not do it in a vicious manner with an attempt to injure. And that's just how I viewed it.
Frustration on the part of Glenn Anderson.
We have marked down here a 10-minute major, but I believe it will just be a 5-minute major. Silk will get a 5-minute major. Now, why does Silk get a 5-minute major in here also?
That I'm not sure. There wasn't a fight at all.
No. They rubbed elbows somewhat. They yelled at each other, but I don't think that there were any punches thrown. Fraser is having trouble getting the game underway. It's 9:51 on the clock here, 8:51 back home in Edmonton. The game has taken just under 2 hours to play 2 periods, and it started off in a very brisk pace. It looked like it was going to be under 2.5 hours for the entire game, but the penalties have slowed it down somewhat.
Couple of big delays. One in the first, now one here.
Glenn is not sending out anybody to play on the blue line. He is showing his disapproval to Kerry Fraser. Now Kerry will talk to him. Keep in mind, Sather being fined $5,000 today for somewhat the same incident in Philadelphia when he failed to come out for the third period on time, and he got a 2-minute penalty, and he voiced his disapproval to referee Don Kaharski, and he was evicted from that hockey game. I'm sure he will not do the same thing tonight.
Dave, apparently the rule book doesn't say anything about an automatic suspension for a match penalty, so we'll have to see what happens, but I'm sure referee Kerry Fraser will be looking into it closely.
No, it's a match misconduct that you get it. I'm sorry.
Here's Dave Ellett. Shooting it in for the Jets is there on a big power play, leading 3-2. Only 1:14 remaining in the second period. Key part of this hockey game. Marois at the point. To Howardchuk in the corner. Mullins in front of the net. Here's Ellett. His shot. Neufeld shoots. A good save by Andy Moog. McTavish turns and backhands it down the ice. 55 seconds remaining in the second period. Dave Ellett setting up on a Jet power play.
Boy, he's played a lot of hockey tonight, Ellett.
Steen's pass went behind Neufeld. Kevin Lowe goes racing after it. Came loose to Dave Hunter. Off the boards and down the ice with 35 seconds remaining in the period.
I think the Jets would be content just to play the final 30 seconds out and start the third period with that man advantage.
Thomas Steen to Dave Ellett. His pass didn't get by Dave Hunter. Howardchuk picks it up to Mullen. He turns away from Fogelin. 16 seconds in the period. To Thomas Steen. Now to Ellett. Winding up. Shoots. And it was blocked in front by Fogelin. Ellett off the boards for Howardchuk. Neufeld was all alone in front, but Kevin Lowe got a stick down, and the pass didn't get through, so the Jets will start the third on the power play. The score after 2 periods. The Winnipeg Jets 3 and the Oilers 2.
The Edmonton Oilers are the hottest team in hockey, and together with ITV, they present the hottest gift idea of the season. The Edmonton Oilers ITV Superstar Pack. Here's what you get.
The official Edmonton Oiler guide with pictures and profiles of your favorite players.
An Oilers toque and an Oilers scarf.
A genuine Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup pin.
Plus our pennant with every Oilers signature.
You can keep everything in this Oilers ITV duffel bag.
Hurry, supply is limited. Remember, you get the official guide with player profiles and page after page from the Oilers' incredible record book. An Oilers toque and scarf. A genuine Stanley Cup pin. The team pennant with every player's signature. And the Oiler ITV duffel bag.
If you bought everything separately, it would cost you $42.
But if we get a deal for you,
just $29.95.
Hurry, supply is limited. The Edmonton Oilers ITV Superstar Pack.
It's hot.
Here's how to get yours. The Oilers ITV Superstar Pack of $42 value is available for a limited time for just $29.95. The Superstar Pack is available now at the Oilers booth in West Edmonton Mall, lower level, main aisle by the fire and water fountain. Hurry, supply is limited. Makes a great Christmas gift.
A couple of Edmonton power play goals in the second period tonight at the arena in Winnipeg. It was Yari Curry and Glenn Anderson scoring. The Jets lead now just 1 goal. The score, Winnipeg 3, Edmonton 2, with 20 minutes still to play.
Well, a key part of this hockey game right now is the Winnipeg Jets enjoy a 3-minute, 30-second man advantage to start the third period. Not only that, Wayne Gretzky is sitting off the rest of his 10-minute misconduct.
So penalties have played a prominent role in tonight's hockey game. I've been leaping through the rule book to try to figure out what they did give Glenn Anderson. The official stat sheet says 10-minute match, and that carries further action with it.
Steen, Marois, Neufeld, Howardchuk, and Mullen on the Jet power play. Howardchuk to Mullen. He chops it inside the Oilers zone. Moog plays it high off the glass for Hunter. He kicked at it. Now picks it up and fires it to center. It was knocked down by Steen on a high stick, but Craig McTavish has the puck. Oilers trailing 3-2. We're just underway in the third period. Mario Marois to Howardchuk. He gets away from Hunter, goes rink wide to Thomas Steen. He shoots it in. Mullen in the corner with Kevin Lowe. Puck came loose to Dave Hunter on the right side to Lee Fogelin. 2:42 in the major penalty to Anderson. Here's Craig McTavish. He was checked by Hawerchuk. Marois for the Jets.
It's important for the Winnipeg Jets not to sit on this 3:30 that they have. They've got to take advantage of it. If they score a goal, the man does not come out of the penalty box.
Or sit on the 3-2 lead.
Absolutely.
Against the high-scoring Edmonton Oilers, Craig McTavish. Gets away from Turnbull, was spun around. Steen couldn't keep it in for the Jets, and Jari Kurri slides it down the ice.
The Jets have failed to register a shot in the second part of the penalty. There's 2:05 to go, and 1:30 of it they did not get a shot.
Dave Ellett to Perry Turnbull. He was hooked at the last second, couldn't get a shot away. Paul Coffey behind the net. Arneal is there to Ellett, moving in. He fanned on the shot. And Jari Kurri takes over for the Oilers. Billy Carroll up front with Kurri. 1:43 in the penalty to Anderson. Mark Barron to Scott Arneal. And his pass was knocked down and into the crowd by Jari Kurri. Here's a summary of the first couple of periods. The Jets took a 3-0 lead in the first on goals by Eves, Arneal, and Turnbull, and the shots were even at 12 apiece. But in the second period, the Oilers came back with a pair of power play goals. Jari Kurri with his 23rd, Glenn Anderson with his 24th, and look at those shots on goal. The Oilers out shooting the Jets 14-3 in the second period, 26-15 over 40 minutes. So it's 3-2 and shapes up to be an interesting third period.
And a footnote to the scoring stats. Attendance 15,447. That's 3 shy of sold out here in Winnipeg. Excellent.
129 in the penalty to Glenn Anderson. The Jets would like to get a fourth and possibly insurance goal. Here's Boschman. Ellett for the Jets. On the right side to Murray Eves. He feeds it into the corner for Laurie Boschman. Moog wraps it down the boards. Ellett moving up as he logged a lot of ice time tonight for Winnipeg. Doug Smale from Moose Jaw. To Eves, back to Ellett at the point. Boschman's in front, harassing Moog. Eves trying to center. Boschman jams at it. And Moog dove across the crease. Jets trying to keep it in, and they tie it up for a face-off. Marois and Hunter.
The reason for the ineffective play of the Jets on this power play are the men in blue sweaters, the Edmonton Oilers, doing a very effective job killing the major portion of that 5-minute penalty. Greg McTavish in particular has been simply outstanding in getting control of the puck and working very, very hard. Barry Long looks a little more relaxed, but I don't think he should feel that way because 1 goal on the Oilers is not an awful lot.
Face off to the left of Andy Moog. 49 seconds in the penalty to Anderson. Hawerchuk, Mullen, Neufeld, Steen, and Marois for the Jets. Here's Marois at the point. His shot just missed the far corner. Steen couldn't keep it in against Jari Kurri. Where'd the puck end up?
Must be inside his pants.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's Friday the 13th. Anything can happen. It's also the birthday of our young producer, Steve Lansky, and I'm sure he has a lot of friends in Edmonton that would wish him a happy birthday.
He's got friends other than in Edmonton. Happy birthday, Steve. 17:09. Remaining in the third, 35 seconds in the penalty to Anderson. Paul Coffey for the Oilers, a couple of assists on the night. Hawerchuk at the point to Brian Mullen for Neufeld behind the net. Goes charging into the corner. Skated off the puck by Coffey. It almost ended up underneath him, and Billy Carroll shoots it out. 16 seconds in the Anderson penalty, and the Jets really haven't come very close.
No, but the Oilers are playing with a little more physical aggression and a little more emotion in this period, and they're playing a little better positional play.
Hawerchuk, the captain of the Jets. Mullen dumps it in behind the net. Moog stops it there. High off the glass, knocked down by Neufeld. Hawerchuk looking for Mullen, but Randy Gregg broke it up. Here's Jari Kurri for the Oilers. Remember, the Oilers captain Wayne Gretzky sitting off a 10-minute misconduct. McSorley charging in, shoots, and Barron hung the post. Gregg behind the net for McSorley. Wade Campbell for the Jets. To Tim Waters, an assistant captain. Out to Ron Wilson. Got away from Mark Napier on a nifty move and dumped it in. Oilers are back at full strength, though, and that's what they set out to do to start this third period, was kill that penalty off.
The Jets only registered one shot with 3:30 in the penalty.
Craig McTavish in front, and Napier couldn't get a stick on it. Paul Coffey was also up on the play. Hunter took a run at Eaves. Here's Huddy for the Oilers. He shoots it in. Tim Waters back to get it. Oilers skating much better now. Coffey into the corner. Doug Smale is there for the Jets. He scoops it ahead for Ron Wilson. Hunter cuts him off, and Paul Coffey has the puck. 15:20 remaining in the third period. It's 3-2 Jets. Mario Marois, 28-year-old defenseman, back to Dave Ellett, who played college hockey at Bowling Green.
You mentioned the Oilers skating somewhat better, but I think the thing that they're doing is that they're more physical. They're finishing off the play. They're getting in front of a white sweater, and that impedes their skating progress.
Marois to Scott Arneal. He was going the wrong way. Left it for Marois again. Off the boards inside the Oilers zone. Lee Fogelin. Then Napier. His shot into the Jet zone. Suominen on the prowl after it. Tried to center it. Put it right on the stick of Perry Turnbull. The Jets are 3-on-2. Turnbull left it for Ellett. Across for Arneal. And a good play by Kevin Lowe. Boschman to Arneal. Looking for Turnbull in front. Came in front for Boschman, and he had his stick lifted by Suominen. There's a long shot right to Moog by Ellett. Turnbull in the corner. Back to Ellett at the point. To Boschman. Arneal's in front of the net. Ellett. And he panned on the shot. Didn't really get control of the puck. Here's Ellett again for Winnipeg. Moving in. Takes the shot. Centers it. Here's Turnbull, a backhand shot, and it went off Charlie Huddy's stick as Moog was trapped out of the net momentarily. Turnbull behind the net. Centers it into the crease and covering up is Moog. Live from the Winnipeg Arena. This is your Molson Hockey telecast.
Mr. Mark! How are you? Meet Benno, the talking dog. Benno, what's the one thing Molson Golden ain't? Rough. Rough! You hear that? He said rough. Molson Golden, it sure ain't rough. Rough! You hear? The dog said rough. I didn't say it. The dog, he said rough. Oh, you're so hot!
Molson Golden, it sure ain't rough.
Maybe you should have said smooth.
Next time.
13:52 left in the third period. A good shift by the line of Boschman, Arneal, and Turnbull for the Jets.
All season long, the unit has been the most productive, the most consistent for them. Every now and then they replace Scott Arneal, and when they do it, that line suffers.
Yari Curry trying to catch up to a rolling puck at center. Howardchuk was there for the Jets to Brian Mullen, who was born in New York City. Imagine that. Mullen trying to center it. Went off Moog's stick. Howardchuk knocks it down. Couldn't get the shot away. Couple of good moves by Howardchuk. Marois faked the shot to Mullen. He shoots. Andy Moog made a sensational glove save on Brian Mullen of the Jets as they're buzzing around that Oiler net.
Watch out. It's coming. You're about to get hit with another big heating bill.
Afraid of high fuel costs? Dave Lennox has a pulse gas furnace that could cut your winter heating bills almost in half.
Attaboy, Dave. Call us at Danbrook & Pellin, Plumbing and Heating in McLennan and Grand Prairie.
For any plumbing, heating, and ventilation needs.
Call my friends at Danbrook & Pellin.
The most efficient equipment deserves the best installations. Call Economy Heating. Over 30 years of quality workmanship.
Be wise, economize with Economy Heating.
Well, the chant of "Go Jets Go" has gone up at the Winnipeg Arena while we were away for that commercial.
The Jets have had better scoring opportunities 5-on-5 than they did on the power play.
You're right. Barry Lime probably said, "Come on, guys, let's go out and get one."
Well, you're seeing a better skating game out of Winnipeg, and I think part of the reason is that the Oilers are bringing out the best in the Winnipeg Jets, and I think the Smythe division has suffered somewhat this year because of the ineptness of the Winnipeg Jets, and they want to get back to respectability, and tonight's hockey game is proving that.
Jets clinging to a 3-2 lead, 13:25 left in the third period. Billy Carroll and Thomas Steen on this face-off.
Carroll seeing a lot of ice time because of the 10-minute penalty to Wayne Gretzky, the misconduct penalty, when he argued with Kerry Fraser because of the match penalty given to Glenn Anderson.
And a busy night for Kerry Fraser. Dave Hunter moving early. They may never get the puck drop. Now they do. Carroll winning the draw from Steen and Kevin Lowe for the Oilers. Gets away from Steen. On the right side to Dave Hunter. He lost it to Ron Wilson. Lowe picks it up again, put it right on Doug Smale's stick. Gets around Lowe. Centers it for Steen. It's in the crease. Steen actually walked at it with his glove, and Andy Moog was able to keep the puck up.
When your heavens scores a goal in 15 games, you'll do anything to get a goal. Thomas Steen, number 25, who played the entire second period on the defense. Watch him come here. Watch the speed of Dougie Smale come right around Kevin Lowe here. He'll just throw the puck to the front of the net. Now watch the left hand of number 25 as he lies on the ice. Right there. Get in there. Get in there. Just will not go in for Thomas Steen, a native of Toxmark, Sweden, in his 5th season as a major leaguer. Andy Moog has been sharp in the 2 period that he's been here. Great picture, fellas. Great action in front of the net of Andy Moog.
Doug Smale from the University of North Dakota. He can fly, can he? And it's hard to believe Steen can't score. He had 7 goals in the '84 Canada Cup to lead all players. So
he played with a couple of pretty fair hockey players, in Kent Nielsen and Matt Naslund.
Well, everyone slumps once in a while, I guess. Here's Napier with Suominen. Turns away from Wade Campbell. Drops it back to Charlie Huddy. He was checked by Scott Arneal. Came right into the crease, and Mark Barron covers up for the Winnipeg Jets with 12:52 left in the 3rd period.
I hate to lose. I've always hated to lose. So when I found out how much money I was spending on throwaway batteries, I got a Dynacharge system. You don't throw Dynacharge batteries away. You recharge them over and over again. They're guaranteed for 5 years. And they come in every size and shape.
The Dynacharge system, the only batteries you'll need for the next 5 years.
Because I hate to lose.
The men behind the mask and the story of the shots, 6 and 27. If you're wondering why only 6 for Andy Moog, Grant Fuhr started the hockey game and had 12 directed at him. 2 goals scored, 3 goals scored against Grant Fuhr, I guess. Andy Moog has been shut out, I guess, in his 6 shots.
Well, most of the saves by Moog have come in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Jets only managed 1 shot during the 5-minute advantage. Suominen for the Oilers. Back to Charlie Huddy. Behind the net, looking for McTavish. Puck comes around the boards. Arneal is there for the Jets and just dumps it into the Oilers' zone. Turnbull forechecking against Charlie Huddy, who skates away from him easily, then gets away from Arneal. Charlie Huddy leading the rush. He dumps it into the corner. Wade Campbell is there for Winnipeg. McTavish had him lined up. Suominen tried to get it to Napier behind the net, and Arneal has it for Winnipeg. He's got Perry Turnbull with him. To Turnbull, off his skate, and Paul Coffey gains possession for the Oilers. Off the glass, it's kept in by Miroir. Moog stops it behind the net for Huddy. To Suominen. Bouncing puck. He would have been by Miroir. McTavish to Napier. He waits. Looking for McTavish in front. But Elliott stayed right with him. Turnbull for Winnipeg. Just rolls it out near center. And the Jets will make a change. Yari Curry. Wayne Gretzky getting set in the penalty box. He's put his helmet back on, and it won't be long till number 99 returns to action.
Safeway features Pepsi or 7-Up. 1-liter plastic bottles, just 99 cents.
Safeway's got it!
You're looking at one of the Jet defensemen, number 6, Jim Kite. He has not played since his fight with McSorley. You can see his left hand has an ice pack on it. I guess his knuckles are a little bit sore.
Should be after that one.
Oh, that was a great fight. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that.
Kevin Lowe back in his own zone, plays it off the boards for Kevin McClellan. He gets away from Elliott, then was poke checked by Miroir. And the Jets fire it down the ice once more. Andy Moog leaving it for Kevin Lowe. 11:23 remaining, 3rd period.
You have a sense that the Oilers are just ready to pounce. They're starting to get more aggressive. They're starting to move the puck further and further in that zone.
Marty McSorley for the Oilers with 2 goals against the Hawks the other night. His hand's all right. He's still out there playing hockey. Howardchuk. Nice pass to Mullen. On the right side for Neufeld. Hops away from Lowe. Moves in a shot. And a great save by Andy Moog on Ray Neufeld, who scored only once since coming over to the Jets from Hartford.
You're either a goal scorer or you're not.
Good save by Moog as Neufeld got a good shot away. Low off McClellan, and the puck slides into Tim Waters. Around the boards for Murray Eaves for Howardchuk, and it's called on the two-line offside pass. You're watching the Oilers live on ITV.
My competitive edge, customer service nationwide through telemarketing.
Glad to be of help.
It's that simple.
Here, Chief.
Customer service? Your filbert flange won't mesh with your grapple grommet. No problem. Lonely. See, a satisfied customer is a repeat customer.
You're welcome.
We make grapple grommets?
23,000 a day.
Awesome.
Telemarketing, today's way to operate.
There's a look at the score, 3-2. Gretzky back at center.
And well rested. Huddy's shot taken in the midsection by Barron, and he'll hang on. Hunter on the left side with Lumley. Gretzky at center.
Nickname of Ray Neufeld in Hartford, Sly from the family Stonehands. There's 99. He's got a couple of assists tonight, has he, Bruce?
You know what? He only needs 12 more points now to tie Bobby Clark for 12th place on the all-time points list.
He's amazing. There will never be another. He plays the game with such skill, and I think the one thing that we fail to realize is his durability, his capacity to play the entire 60 minutes at that level.
But his mom and dad will be gathered around the television set in Brantford with a big crowd tonight, watching the game on satellite on ITV. Boschman and Gretzky on the faceoff. Eaves off the boards and out for Winnipeg. Wilson was tripped up by Paul Coffey, and the fans wanted a penalty. They won't get one. Jets call for icing.
Not a very good play that time by number 26, Murray Eaves. I know you want to get the puck out of your zone, but if you keep getting face-offs in your zone, you're going to get bitten, and you're going to have a goal scored against you. A little more confidence, just make a little bit of a dump play into the zone. We're looking at Kerry Fraser, who's had a strong game tonight. A lot of penalties, but they certainly haven't been his fault. They're infractions, and he's called them.
Gretzky, Hunter, and Curry for the Oilers with Huddy and Coffey. Face off to the right of Barron. 10:22 left. Third period. It was 3-0 Jets after one. The Oilers scored a couple of power play goals in the second to get back in it. And Laurie Boschman will be taking a lot of draws. Coffey to Hunter, the shot. Stick save by Barron. Gretzky looking for Curry. He left it for Hunter, but Marois was there for the Jets. And he backhanded it over the glass. So another face-off in Jets territory.
That's interesting for the Winnipeg Jet forwards as we look at Mario Marois, who was originally drafted by John Ferguson when he was a general manager in New York in 1977. He's playing for his fourth NHL team. He was briefly in Vancouver for 50 games. Last year in Quebec, New York, and now the Jets. They are looking for leadership from Marois, besides the fact that he plays well in the power play, but much needed leadership on the blue line.
Former captain of Quebec, he'll be 28 on Sunday.
I mentioned the Jets, interesting. They had three centermen playing forward that last shift.
Boschman and Gretzky again, this time to the left of Barron, and this time Boschman wins the draw. Smale down the boards for Wilson. Coffey pinching in, trying to force another face-off. Marois gets over there. Curry was waiting at the point. To Gretzky in the corner. Gets away from Ellett, looking for Curry, and Marois intercepted that pass as Curry was poised in the slot. And all it would take is one big shot from him. Coffey to Dave Hunter. He shoots, scores!
It's in. An unfortunate goal as far as the Winnipeg Jets have been concerned. Mark Barron has been called number 5 hole here in Winnipeg. He has a penchant for letting goals in between his legs. This is the second one this evening. A good heads-up play by Paul Coffey. You know, youngsters that are sitting at home, if you don't shoot the puck, they will not go in. Dave Hunter does not possess a great hard shot, but that time it was quickness. He snapped it off on the wrist, and he put it in the right spot, the only spot that it would go in between the pads of Mark Barron. So the Oilers, I could sense, I could feel that they were starting to come, Bruce.
The 98th goal of Dave Hunter's career, and it's a 3-all tie. Paul Coffey will get his third assist of the night. And the Jets have blown a 3-0 lead.
They may be tiring just a shade bit too, Bruce.
Yari Curry for the Oilers. To Gretzky. A good move on Wade Campbell. Dropped it back. Mullen was there for the Jets, and he clears it to center. Coffey hit Howardchuk. He goes steaming inside the Oilers zone to Mullen, and he fanned on the shot. Neufeld back to Wade Campbell. His shot went off Coffey's stick, wide of the net. Howardchuk left it in the corner for Neufeld. He waits against Gretzky, looking for Howardchuk, and here come the Oilers again. Raimo Suominen hit Tim Waters, gets it back to Gretzky. Waiting for help. Bounced it off Mullen, in front to Suominen, and he tried to deflect it into the corner. 8:40 left, third period, a 3-all tie. Dale Howardchuk, he shone tonight for the Jets. For Mullen, missed him with the pass. Jets make a change. Randy Gregg. Here's Perry Turnbull in his own zone. Watched by Napier. Put it right on the stick of Suominen. Couldn't get it to Napier in front. Dragged to the ice by Laurie Boschman. And the puck goes out of play. Dave Hunter has tied it up in the third period. 8:18 left.
Saving for a home? The RHOSP is dead, but the new Royal Trust Home Ownership Savings Plan is very much alive. The RT HOSP savings account pays first-rate interest, and when you buy a house and come to Royal Trust for a mortgage, we'll double your interest earned, up to $500. That's $500 more toward your down payment. That's $500 extra when you're ready to buy.
I'm going to switch my RHOSP into a new RT HOSP.
Royal Trust, what a financial partner should be.
Greg McTavish and Laurie Boschman for the face-off to the left of Mark Barron. Dave Ellett to Boschman. Arneal on the right side. Turnbull on the left. Boschman a shot. It's gloved by Andy Moog, and he'll hang on. Turnbull was looking for the rebound. Now we'll just like to remind you right now that for the 5th consecutive year, the Edmonton Oilers will host an open practice this year on Saturday, December 21st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Northlands Coliseum. Tickets are available for $1 at all Edmonton Safeway locations, and all proceeds go to Edmonton and area minor hockey. The Oilers open practice Saturday, December 21st at Northlands. Been a popular event the last couple of seasons in Edmonton, and why not? They're the two-time Stanley Cup champions and a 3-all tie here.
More important, their practices are very entertaining.
They sure are. Very fast-paced. Craig McTavish out on the right side for Napier. Ellett, who's had a strong game on the Jet defense tonight. Gretzky to McTavish. He gets away from Marois, trying to gain speed. Still after the puck, looking for Napier. McTavish had lost his stick and still almost made a play.
Second effort.
Scott Arneal for the Jets. Good move on Kevin Lowe. Goes into the corner after centers it for Turnbull. And the pass was behind him. Mark Napier back checking. And we've got a penalty. High stick, couple of penalties. High sticking and holding, I think.
I believe Terry Fraser has called Boschman and Mark Napier. Well, Raimo Suominen, that was as the play was turning back up ice. Both players getting a little aggressive right in front of the net there. There's the high stick, and as he tries to leave to go back up ice, Raimo grabs a hold of him, and Terry Fraser says, that's a no-no. Boschman, it's simply outstanding when you look at him. He's about 5'10", and about 170 pounds, and he's got 1,200 minutes of penalties in this league, and he has taken on rather big individuals and has not been classed as a good fighter, but one that always shows up. Glenn has rallied his team. He's gotten to them in this third period. He is getting the most from them.
You know, they never panic, though. That's the thing. Bob McCammon was saying
when you're good, you don't have to.
The most amazing thing about the Oilers is they can be down a few goals, and they're not worried about it. They have the confidence to come back.
Patience. And you know, Glenn Sather is the man that gives you that patience. I think you're always a reflection on your general manager or your leader.
Brilliant first period by the Jets tonight as they took a 3-0 lead. Now it's a 3-all tie. Lumley's shot was wide of the net. Coffey moving in. His shot blocked by Tim Waters. His nickname is Muddy. Kind of suits him. Steen on the left side to Smale. Steen gets by the diving Charlie Huddy. Coffey around the boards for Dave Semenko. Out to Lumley. McClellan's on the right side. Play broken up by Wade Campbell. Jim Kite has not played for the Jets since what appears to be hurting his hand in a fight with Marty McSorley in the first period. 6:52 left. A 3-all tie as Kevin Lowe has the puck. Up the boards for Hunter Neufeld to Howardchuk to Doug Smale. Back to Neufeld. Good play by Fogelin. The puck's underneath him as Ray Neufeld nearly had his second great chance of the third period. It's still tied at 3.
IGA. 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 IGA.
Perk up your winter menus with fresh whole white mushrooms on sale all this week. 350 grams, $1.49. And Gainer's Lazy Maple Smoked Hams, an IGA feature, $3.06 a kilogram, just $1.39 a pound.
At IGA, that's our way, 'cause people come first at IGA.
Well, we saw 21 goals a couple of nights ago on ITV. Tonight, a 3-all tie, just 6 goals, but another entertaining hockey game.
Well, there's been great scoring opportunities. Andy Moog and Mark Barron have made the difference in it being 3-3.
Curry played it behind the net. Andy Moog walks it down the boards to Gretzky. Now to Yari Curry. Craig McTavish on the left side. He takes the pass from Curry. A good move on Mullen. Marois was there. Gretzky had his skate on the puck. Takes the shot off the side of the net. Has it again. To Fogelin back at the point. His shot, and Barron just got his blocker on it. He just saw that at the last moment. Neufeld trying to split the defense. He was checked, and the Jets are offside.
You mentioned Neufeld trying to split the defense. Probably just throwing it in would have been the best answer. Barron gets the save here. The puck will be shot by Lee Fogelin. He just directs it at the net. Watch Barron go to his left and have to react to his right side. Right there, he loses his balance, and he was playing the puck to come to his glove hand, and it actually hit him on the blocker without him really even knowing it. So Fogelin not getting a hard shot, but getting the right direction.
Here's Fogelin for the Oilers. He nearly made it 4-3 to Kevin Lowe. Steps to center and fires it in for the Oilers. Hutter forechecking against Tim Waters. Gretzky back at the point to Kevin Lowe. Feeds it into the corner for Yari Curry, who was deep. Fogelin couldn't keep it in, and the Jets come out. Arneal with Turnbull. Moog behind the net. A little too much wood on it and fired it over the glass.
5:37 to go in the third period. Boschman and Sumanen come out of the penalty box. The Jets a little tired on the blue line. Earlier in the hockey game, Bobby Dulles and Don Jackson were thrown out with misconducts for entering a fight that had already started, and referee Kerry Fraser had them thrown out with game misconduct. So that's why the Jets on the blue line would be a little bit tired. Kite with an injured hand. Dulles sitting in the dressing room. McTavish has played well. He's played well from the drop of the puck. He has been a pleasant hockey player for the Oilers, and he's also a character builder off the ice. He's been a great addition.
Doesn't take too many nights off. 22 points, as you mentioned earlier, but more important than that, 2 game-winning goals this season. So he puts the puck in the net at an important time.
You get an impression in talking to him before the hockey game that he's enjoying himself after what he's gone through.
He sure is. Paul Coffey. To Napier. Now to Gretzky. Couldn't feed it into Napier. Tried to force a face-off in the corner. Ron Wilson to Wade Campbell. Putty kept it in at the point. It went off Smale. Now Campbell has it with Wilson and Steen. Gave it to Steen, who hit Gretzky with his pass. Paul Coffey for the Oilers. On the right side, Sumanen is waiting for the change, and the Jets have it. Marois to Steen to Doug Smale. Here's McTavish for the Oilers. Coffey coming up on the play. Good move by McTavish, cutting to the backhand. And he didn't get real good wood on it, went wide of the net. But a good play by McTavish. Steen dumps it in for the Jets. Ron Wilson giving chase. He's checked by Paul Coffey. Steen has it. Mullen goes for the front of the net. But Craig McTavish is there again for the Oilers. Here comes McTavish again. The slop shot, a pass saved by Barrett Suman, and the rebound scores!
Well, you know, all night they haven't been putting the rebound in. They haven't been getting the opportunity to put it in. At the start of the hockey game, you'll remember I mentioned Barron has been guilty of giving up the rebound. A great play by Greg McTavish. He slaps the puck. Watch how far the rebound comes. Right there, mishandled by Dave Ellett, and that's unfortunate because Ellett has played very well. There's the hard shot. Now watch the rebound come out, and it's bouncing around. Misjudged by Ellett. Suominen just puts it where? In between the legs of Mark Barron. That is the third one out of the 4 goals scored by the Oilers tonight, between the legs of goaltender Mark Barron. A great job by Glenn Sather, John Muckler. Barry Long has to be disappointed in the state of affairs right now.
15:29, the time of the goal, as the Jets came very close off the faceoff. Suominen's 7th of the season. Mullen, the Neufeld a shot, and he just missed the top corner. Here's Ellett in a shot, and Moog had a collision with Howardchuk, and the whole side of the net was open. Kevin McClellan for the Oilers. 4:07 the time remaining. Oilers battling back from a 3-0 deficit. Lumley for Hutter. It's kept in by Marois, but here comes McClellan, and he has room. Marois trying to catch him. Hutter's with him, a backhand shot, and it missed the net. Lumley couldn't keep it in. Ellett out to Neufeld with Howardchuk. Neufeld goes wide on Charlie Huddy, but it was swept off his stick at the last second. Tim Waters in deep for the Jets. Lumley couldn't clear it. Campbell a shot, and that hit Charlie Huddy's stick. Wayne Gretzky has it. The Coffey, he missed the pass, and it's Tim Waters organizing for the Jets. High pass to Scott Arneal, and the Jets are offside. Hutter and Suominen have scored in the third. The Oilers have a 4-3 lead.
Imagine an amazing device that sets focus, has built-in self-protection, and automatically adjusts for different light conditions. The Pentax Sharpshooter. A pocket-sized 35 that automatically focuses, sets your exposure, and has built-in automatic flash. You just aim and shoot with the Sharpshooters from Pentax.
The Oilers have scored twice in the third to take the lead over the Winnipeg Jets. The Oilers looking for their 22nd win of the season. They've only lost one of their last 14. And they'll return home to play Vancouver Sunday. Campbell's shot went just wide. Boschman was looking for the deflection. Waters is pinching in for the Jets, and they'll have to do that now, trailing by 1.
Well, should the score remain as it is right now, the Oilers have to be very pleased with their road trip. Starting off Tuesday in St. Louis, they dropped that game 7-3, I believe, and then to win a game in Chicago 12-9, kind of a tainted victory, so to speak, because of the 9 goals that you give up. But they have played well defensively. Kevin Lowe, Lee Fogelin, Charlie Huddy, they have come back from the 3-0, and they've really given nothing up since the second period, and they've worked hard to establish that.
Steen, Eaves, and Smale up front for the Jets. Waters and Campbell on defense. The Oilers have Curry with Suominen and Gretzky, Coffey and Huddy. Tim Waters bangs it in. They hit the linesman Wayne Forsey, and now it's an offside, and Forsey felt that one.
Now what does a coach like Barry Long and Rick Bowness do? They're down 1. They have to be somewhat tired. Do you shorten your bench? Make sure you get your scoring stars out there more often. I would think that Howardchuk should be out there every second shift. I know if Glenn Sather were down 1, we would see 99 quite frequently, and I think that that's what you have to do in the coaching position. You've got to make sure that the men that bring you the offense are out there as much as possible.
Well, a terrific first period tonight by the Jets, and here comes Gretzky with Curry 2-on-1. A slap shot, scores! His 20th of the season.
Woo. I'll tell you, he got something behind that puck. After the face-off, he comes out with the puck really unmolested as they create a 2-on-1. He looks over to his right side. He kind of decoys Mark Barron a little bit. Look how he comes from the face-off. He looks there, see him looking, and then he simply unloads. Barron is just a split second too late in getting himself set up to stop this puck. He is coming out to make the challenge, but in moving his right leg, he does not plant that left leg, and he's not really prepared to make the stop.
So Gretzky picks the corner, and it's 5-3 Oilers. 2:38 to go. Neufeld for the Jets. His shot went off Kevin Lowe's skate to the corner. Craig McTavish into the corner for Kevin Lowe. Trying to move it down the boards. Checked by Howard-Chuck, but it went to McTavish. Neufeld golfed it in to the Oiler bench.
We've kind of seen two hockey games tonight, Bruce. The first period belonging to the Winnipeg Jets offensively, 3-0. The third period has simply been all of the Oilers. And I think the key to the third period was with 3:30 gone in the third period, the Jets were none effective in that power play. They had a chance to really break it away at 3-2. And the Oilers did an outstanding job in killing off that remaining portion of the 5-minute penalty to Glenn Anderson, and that really got momentum on their side.
Well, kind of demoralizing for the Jets, who got off to a great start in this hockey game.
They can't feel cheated, though, Bruce. I think they've played well. They're getting back on track after the horrendous slump. I think they can take a certain amount of satisfaction from the way they've played this evening.
Andy Moog has not given up a goal since replacing Grant Fuhr at the start of the second period, but the Jets haven't had nearly the number of shots they did in the first period. Steen to Turnbull. His shot hit Vogelin in front and it hurt him. Hit him in the shoulder. Napier ahead for McTavish. Arniel chopped it out and the Oilers were offside. 1:54 left.
We talk about patience, and Glenn Sather certainly has it. We look at Mark Napier. He had 7 points after the first 17 games. He's had 15 points in the last 13 games. So the patience of Glenn Sather to let his scoring star get on track has paid off for him, because he's come up with some big goals, one being an overtime victory against the New York Rangers. And that's the kind of hockey club that the Oilers are. They've got experience, but as you mentioned, that key word, patience.
Howard-Chuck put it right on Gretzky's stick. He scores!
Well, they've simply worn out the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets physically are down, but also when you're down physically, you tend to not do things with your mental aspect of the game. Right here, it's a miscalculation by the defenseman or by Howard-Chuck. He throws it right out to the front of his own net. Under no circumstances should a forward be taking that puck and throwing it into the scoring area.
And he threw it to the wrong player. The game's leading scorer. Here he is again. Gretzky to Curry. Back for Gretzky. Keep our eye on him. He's going for the hat trick all of a sudden. Mullen with Neufeld. Weak shot by Mullen off the stick of Andy Moog. Down the boards for Dave Hunter. Eves couldn't keep it in for the Jets. Marois. The Mullen at center. His long shot. Bounced off Moog. It hit him high and almost bounced right into the net. Here's Mullen again. That shot surprising Andy Moog. Neufeld was checked by Yari Curry. Mullen to Neufeld. He just rolls it in. Less than a minute to play, third period. It's the Oilers 6 and the Jets 3. It was 3-2 Winnipeg heading into the third period.
Well, both teams just kind of playing out the last 45 seconds right now, dumping it along the boards, looking for that long breakaway like that.
Two-line offside pass to Arniel from Perry Turnbull.
The score 6-3 is certainly not a reflection on the closeness of the hockey game, but it does show you the difference in the quality of the teams. By 3, the Oilers are that much better of a hockey team, though they didn't do it until the last part of this hockey game. Andy Moog will take a shot well out from Brian Mullen right here. And the puck kind of knucklers like a knuckleball, and it hits him in the stick and the glove, and he doesn't get control of it. He looks to the front of him, and it just slips by the corner.
Kevin Lowe to Kevin McClellan with Semenko. He was checked by Thomas Steen. 23 seconds left. Scott Arniel for the Jets. Jets will be in Edmonton just before Christmas. It's centered for Boschman, actually on the 22nd. Semenko, high stick. Thomas Steen, and may have drawn blood. Now that was accidental, I'm sure.
He's throwing him out of the game. He's got a 5-minute penalty. He's given him a 5-minute penalty, though he would have gone to the dressing room anyway with 10 minutes on the clock, 10 seconds on the clock. You will see Semenko and Steen go back for a puck right here, and as they do so, watch David Stick come right up. But you see what the reaction was? Did you see Steen kind of, just prior to that, put his stick down? In doing so, Semenko reacted with his own stick, and there you can see where he got the cut on the lower lip or part of the chin. He has one aggressive Swede, Tomastin is. He's 260 minutes in penalties himself, so he's not afraid of the rough going.
Well, unfortunately for the Jets, the major didn't come soon enough. Only 10 seconds left in the hockey game. Dave Semenko draws the major for high sticking. 5 seconds left. Waters back to get it in his own zone, and time runs out in the third period.
Well, I have to be fairly pleased with the hockey game. Coming from Winnipeg, the Jets played very well, even though the score says it's 6-3. It shows that they are a team once again. They're standing up for each other. They just lack a little bit of ability, and some of it has to do with the injuries that they